The time is now. It's now time for International Falls Broncos fall sports action. From the gridiron to the volleyball court to the swimming pool, your International Falls Broncos are gearing up and ready to go this 2025-2026 season. Thank you to all the sponsors of the International Falls Broncos fall sports. And now it's time to get to the action. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Yours truly, Augie Schmidt, here live on Lakes Country 104.1 KSDM, as well as on YourLiveEvent.com. Shout out to our Warroad viewers on YourLiveEvent.com. Excited for a very, very fun matchup that's to come here live from International Falls High School. It's volleyball varsity action between the International Falls Broncos and the Warroad Warriors, who are going to be the Road Warriors today to take on the Broncos, who are defending their home turf for the last time this 2025-26 season. After today, the Broncos are going to be on the road for the rest of their season, and so they're going to be the ones who are the Road Warriors. But first, let's get into tonight's matchup. All kinds of fun happening here tonight in Falls High School Gymnasium. But first, let's hear a word from our sponsors on Lakes Country 104.1 KSDM.
Ready to ride into fall? Hi, this is Tony Skifstrom at Border Bank. Whether it's an ATV for backwoods thrills or a truck built for bonfire season, Border Bank makes it easy to gear up with a consumer loan that fits your lifestyle. Fast decisions, competitive rates, hometown service that goes the extra mile. So don't just rake leaves, run them over. Apply today at borderbank.com or come visit with me at the bank. Border Bank, customer first, community focused. Member FDIC.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
Hi, this is Rob from Falls Lumber Company. I'm new to the company, though not to the industry. If you're looking to remodel your kitchen or bathroom, stop in and see me in the Design Center. I can help you pick out the perfect cabinets or countertops from brands such as Crystal Cabinets, Cambria, Corian, and Silestone. If you're in need of flooring, we have options including luxury vinyl plank, hardwood, engineered hardwood, and tile. Stop into the Design Center to see me anytime. When you're looking to build or remodel, come to the experts at Falls Lumber Company, 201 4th Street in International Falls.
Employees at Packaging Corporation of America have been producing quality paper for over a century. We understand our responsibility to the community, and we're honored to support the many needs and events occurring in the borderland. From providing donations to local schools and events, to supporting organizations meeting physical needs in our community, Packaging Corporation of America does more than make paper. We make a difference.
Welcome back to the Rainy River, Minnesota North College Press Box on Lakes Country 104.1 KSDM. Yours truly, Augie Schmidt here. And here's my interview with head coach Aaron Hall of the International Falls Broncos volleyball squad. I'm here with head coach Aaron Hall of the International Falls Broncos volleyball team, getting ready for today's home matchup. From what I can recall correctly, the last home matchup. In a minute. All right. Now here's my interview with Coach Aaron Hall of the International Falls Broncos. I'm here with head coach Aaron Hall of the International Falls Broncos volleyball team, getting ready for today's home matchup. From what I can recall correctly, the last home matchup of the season. And so, how are the girls feeling today?
How are the girls feeling? I think we're good. I mean, it's kind of a Monday, so Monday games are always a little tricky.
So then how are we feeling, Coach?
Oh, I feel fine. I feel fine. I mean, there's not a lot I can do. You know, we're already all at the gym. They have to prepare mentally. Just come out there ready to play.
Yeah, coming off the weekend.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we're still suffering a little bit from the homecoming, like week and all that crazy. So I mean, I know it's been a few days, but I just feel like our emotions are kind of up and down right now. So
yeah, especially because for the seniors, last couple of games here at home,
and our last week was senior night, and that was super emotional, and didn't really play that well. So it's just, yeah, I feel like we're a little bit all over the place. I hope we can come out tough.
So what is it from your end then that you're trying to like reel them back into the game and keep them focused?
So tonight we're just gonna get out there and hopefully they're doing their thing in the locker room. We're gonna play hard. I hope that is the goal. Obviously, it would be nice to win. We have 2 days of practice, so I think 2 days of practice definitely kind of get your mind right and your body going. So I feel like by Thursday they'll be super excited. Play Little Fork.
Yeah, I know that's the big one. I wanted to kind of hold off and ask about Little Fork. Sorry, we can get into questions about Warroad, because I'm not the team that's a little bit closer by, and so surprisingly, it doesn't seem like you guys play them that often though. At least with volleyball, from what I've noticed.
What, Little Fork?
Warroad.
Oh, I am not certain when we've ever played Warroad in my not while I've coached. So this is new for us.
Well, so since you're a veteran head coach facing off against their first-year head coach, what is something that you're kind of hoping to bring to the table as the veteran coach in this matchup?
I have been coaching for a while, but Jasmine, she played at Rainy River. She's from like the woods, so she has a big volleyball background. So I can't wait to see what she brings to the table.
And so, what's the big game plan then to take on Jasmine's Warroad Warriors?
I'd just like to see us limit our mistakes. We need to get on the end line and serve well. We struggled with that in our last match. Serve well, get some good, strong attacks and earn points. Also, out of system, I'd like us to try to attack the ball instead of giving up free balls.
I will say the defense has been looking really great and even really improved too from this season. It seems like the only thing where if the serve and receive isn't going well for the team, that's kind of where the team struggles the most. And so, has that kind of been the biggest focus for those 2 practices you had?
So we do struggle on serve receive occasionally, but we do usually have a game plan with each rotation. We have a couple different serve receives, so we can at least change something up to try to get out of that if we get stuck in a hole. So usually our serve receives not too much of the issue. I think our passes are generally pretty good. It's usually finishing at the net in our offense. So.
Well, I'm really excited for this upcoming game against Warroad, and want to wish you the best of luck. And as always, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
As you heard, that was my interview with head coach Aaron Hall of the Broncos volleyball team. And so big thing for the Broncos to try and get a win in today is to really make sure that they are consistent and they are accurate when they are attacking the net. So that's going to be a big difference maker for the Broncos here today. And now before the national anthem, which is brought to you by local VFW Post 2948. Join us for Burger Night and Karaoke. Let's read off the Broncos starting lineup. Number 2, Neva Kokesh. Number 4, Peyton Grasshorn. Number 5, Cami Cronin. Number 9, Lauren Basaraba. Number 16, Charlie Swanson. Number 21, Chesney Skrine. And number 10, the libero for the Broncos, Mara Bowler. Of course, the team also consists of number 13, Hadley Whitbeck, number 18, Cameron Rasmussen, number 19, Morgan Morin DeMars, and number 20, Eliana Koenig. That's our Broncos starting lineup. We're going to go into another break, and we'll be back after the national anthem, brought to you by local VW Post 2948. We're live from the Rainy River, Minnesota North College Press Box.
Ready to ride into fall? Hi, this is Tony Skifstrom at Border Bank. Whether it's an ATV for backwoods thrills or a truck built for bonfire season, Border Bank makes it easy to gear up with a consumer loan that fits your lifestyle. Fast decisions, competitive rates, hometown service that goes the extra mile. So don't just rake leaves, run them over. Apply today at borderbank.com or come visit with me at the bank. Border Bank, customer first, community focused. Member FDIC.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting, with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
Hi, this is Rob from Falls Lumber Company. I'm new to the company, though not to the industry. If you're looking to remodel your kitchen or bathroom, stop in and see me in the Design Center. I can help you pick out the perfect cabinets or countertops from brands such as Crystal Cabinets, Cambria, Corian, and Silestone. If you're in need of flooring, we have options including luxury vinyl plank, hardwood, engineered hardwood, and tile. Stop into the Design Center to see me anytime. When you're looking to build or remodel, come to the experts at Falls Lumber Company, 201 4th Street in International Falls.
And so thank you for tuning in on Lakes Country 104.1 KSDM, as well as on YourLiveEvent.com. Here is my interview with head coach Draper of the Warroad Warriors. I'm here with head coach Jasmine Draper of the Warroad volleyball team, getting ready for today's game against the Broncos. Probably one of the closer matchups, I'm assuming, that you guys end up playing on the road this year.
Yes, yeah, we're super excited to be here tonight.
Yeah. And so what's the big game plan coming into today?
Yeah, so this whole season, being the first-year head coach here, we're really striving on our defense, really kind of filtering the ball to our defenders, and then again, on the blocking end, just focusing on where we want to block and staying consistent through that, so we're picking up some blocks on that end. Serving, we serve pretty aggressively, so focusing on that, kind of keeping other teams out of system with that. And then we're running a new offense, so hitters are trying to hit on different slots and running different routes for them. So we're trying not to have one hitter every time for teams that can scout that pretty easily.
And so you mentioned first-year head coach. So what was really the biggest growing pain you had to deal with as a first-year head coach for the Warriors?
Yeah, I mean, I think just bringing everything that as a coach that I wanted to, just getting them to trust the process, and maybe in those first couple of weeks things weren't maybe going our way, so just kind of, you know, the losses piling up, and some close matches that we end up kind of losing in that 5-point game for us. So just getting them to really trust the process and focus on our side of the things, and we try not to worry about too much of what the opponents are doing, just how we want to play our volleyball. And we know that if we do things correctly and on our end consistently, we'll get big plays and we'll get some points and be in that close game.
And so what's the biggest growth you've seen in your players this year as we're getting into the later end of the season?
We have quite a few injuries for us and some JV players stepping up to be on our roster. So all these kids are flexible and coachable. Night to night, we have some players that are playing on the outside that need to go into the middle, just depending on what our opponent looks like. So they all have their primary position, but then their secondary position. And in the last couple of weeks, we've seen players step up in their secondary position. So it's just been nice to see that we don't have to stick to one straight lineup. And with a roster of 15, every girl is ready to go. So it's just nice to see that they want to be a part of the lineup, no matter what position that is.
Well, I want to wish you guys the best of luck. And before we actually end the interview, So, I'm actually going to wait until after set number 1 to play the next tidbit, but a fun fact about head coach Draper of Warroad is she is actually an alumni to our very own Rainy River, Minnesota North College, who, by the way, sponsors our press box. So thank you again, Minnesota North College, for sponsoring this press box for tonight's contest and for every Bronco and Little Fort Big Falls Vikings athletic conference. And so we're just about to be underway with set number 1 between the Warriors and the Broncos. And so we are going to be getting ready for that. Let's go over the Warroad starting lineup in the meantime, as their starters are going to be number 3, Atlee Larson, number 5, Kelby Knox, number 8, Haley Selvog, number 11, Libby Olofsson, number 14, Unity Gausen. And then if they are receiving, then it will be number 15, Anna James. And if they are serving, it's going to be number 25, Aaliyah Jackson. And since Aaliyah Jackson is the one out there, they will be serving to start. And the libero for the Warriors tonight is going to be number 13, Olivia Anthony. Broncos bring in their libero, Mara Buller, wearing the number 10. And we are just about to get ready for our contest. The Broncos in the going left to right, purple jerseys with Mara wearing the yellow libero jersey, and Warroad going right to left wearing their yellows with the black numbers and their libero. Number 13 coming into the game just now, Olivia Anthony is wearing the black with yellow numbers. And so hopefully Warroad doesn't mistake Mara Bowler for one of their own. And Mara, hopefully she doesn't mistake Warroad for her teammates as well. I promise I'm funnier than that. So Warroad to serve first for today's contest. And first serve for the Warriors in tonight's contest, done by number 14, Unity Galzin. Swanson sets it up for Chesney Skrine. Skrine sends it to the back row. That's received by Atlee Larson. This time, Warroad's going to set it up, but almost running into each other. Aaliyah Jackson able to send it over. Neva Koka and Lauren Basaraba, able to get the first point of the match today, and that goes to the Broncos, who takes a 1-0 lead on the PCA scoreboard. That's right, PCA Packaging Corporation of America is your scoreboard sponsor throughout this contest. Serve by Basaraba of the Broncos. Again, it was Lauren Basaraba who also got the first kill of the game as Peyton Grasshorn passes it over. Now Warroad's going to set it up for Jackson. Jackson sends it over the back line, trying to go for that back near side corner, but that's going to go out of bounds. Bronco point. Now they take a 2-0 lead on the PCA scoreboard. Basaraba once again to serve. Basaraba sends it, received by the libero. Warroad sets it up. That was number 6 getting a touch on it, Reagan Haley. Now Broncos pass it back over. This time they're setting it up. That's number 11, Libby Olafson. No good. Broncos send it right back. That time it's once again Haley, but that's a dig by Swanson that sends it right back to them. Now it's Jackson with a turn. She's going to try and lob it over. Instead, Swanson's going to set it up. That's Neva Kokesh. Kokesh sends it to the back row, received by Larson. Now this time they're setting it up again for Haley. Off the blockers. Chesney Skrine keeps it up in the air, and Grasshorn's able to pass it over. Now Warroad gets another opportunity. This time they set it up, but too far. And Chesney Skrine able to get the 50-50, bounces it off of just below the hands of the intended blocker. That was Haley, Reagan Haley of Warroad, who tried to go for the block. No good. Chesney Skrine gets the point for the Broncos. Broncos now up 3-0 as Swanson sets it up for Kokesh. Kokesh sends it towards the back row, but that's out of bounds. So point for the Warriors of Warroad. It's 3-1, Broncos leading on the Packaging Corporation of America scoreboard in this contest. Serving for Warroad is number 6, Reagan Haley. Swanson's going to set it up for Grasshorn. Bounced off of the net, and that's going to be a point for Warroad after the block. That kept it just below the net. So now Warroad trying to climb back, getting an early rally. 3-2 on the PCA scoreboard. Broncos leading. Haley with the serve, received by Basaraba. Swanson sets it up. This is Grasshorn with a kill. No good, received by Haley. Now they're going to set up. That time it's Olafson who sends it to the back row and able to keep it in bounds. That's a point for Warroad. 3-3, now tied game after the Broncos jumped up to an early 3-0 lead. So Reagan Haley back behind the line to serve for Warroad. She sends it to the back row. That's Basaraba to Swanson, who sets it over and inbounds. Hesitation by Warroad's libero, Olivia Anthony, and it ended up being the incorrect decision. Broncos get the point thanks to Charlie Swanson. Quick substitution, Marble out of the game. Cami Cronin into the game. And it's also going to be Chesney Skrine serving for the Broncos. And Chesney Skrine gets an ace as Warroad ended up accidentally getting a off-target bump on the receive. So an ace for Chesney Skrine. And Chesney Skrine lucked out there as the serve bounced off the net a couple times before going over to Warroad's side. Now it's Grasshorn with an attempt after Warroad passed it over. Her attempt goes off the net. That's a point for Warroad. 5-4 now. Marbulla back in the game, subbing in for Chesney Skrine. Also coming into the game for the Warriors of Warroad is Haley Selvog. She subs in for Libby Olafson. Serving is the libero, Olivia Anthony. Anthony sends it to the back row, received by Basaraba. Swanson sets it up. That's Grasshorn, received by Anthony. Now, Warroad with an opportunity. They give it to Atlee Larson. No good. Broncos able to pass it over. That's Neva Kokesh with the pass. And Warroad somehow keeps it in play. Kokesh puts it up in the air. Swanson over to Kokesh, but unable to get this kill. That's going to be a pass. And able to somehow lead to a miscommunication among Warroad. And so Broncos get the point. Now up 6-4 on the PCA scoreboard. Quick substitution. Cameron Rasmussen comes into the game for number 16, Charlie Swanson of International Falls. Grasshorn to serve. That's received by Haley. Attempt by Atlee Larson off the blockers and inbounds on the Broncos side. That is a point for Atlee Larson of Warroad. So now it is 6-5, back to a one-score game. Couple of substitutions coming into the game. Number 1 for Warroad, Catherine Brecky, as well as I missed the other substitution. But it will be Brecky who is back to serve for Warroad. Grasshorn over to Rasmussen. Rasmussen sends it across, and great dive by Larson to keep it in play. Broncos are going to set it up for Neva Kokesh, who gets a floater over the net. Now it's going to be Anthony. Sets it up. That's going to be Larson again, blocked by the Broncos. They're going to set it up. Larson once more. Oh, no, excuse me. That was Haley, Reagan Haley, who sets it over. Now Neva Kokesh gets the point. One-handed, sends it towards the back corner, and that's going to be a Bronco point off of Neva Kokesh's touch over the net. I'm using the wrong color for my pen. There we go. So now Broncos up 7-2. It is Neva Kokesh serving for International Falls. They're going to set it up for Larson, who's able to get it over the net. Now Cronin to Grasshorn, sets it up for Basaraba. Basaraba sends it into the middle of a bunch of Warroad defenders. Now extends their lead 8-5 on the PCA scoreboard. Broncos able to get these 3-point leads, but haven't been able to hold them yet. So let's see if they can extend it this time around on this rally, led by Neva Kokesh from the service line. Kokesh sends it to the back row, received by Anthony, the libero. Now they're going to set it up. That's number 8, Haley Selvog, who's able to get the hit over and onto the hardwood. That's a point for Warroad off of the hit by Haley Selvog. Serving, it's going to be number 3, I believe, Atlee Larson. She slightly turned away from me, so I can't see her number clearly, and that is indeed Larson. And unfortunately for Atlee Larson, that will be over the back line, out of bounds. Point for the Broncos, 9-3. Chesley Scrine subbed into the game for Mara Buller. Cami Cronin's going to be the one serving for International Falls. She's going to send it to the back row. That's received. Now they're going to set it up. This goes to number 6, Reagan Haley. They've been trying to feed her a whole bunch in this Warroad team, and somehow the hit goes just in front of Cami Cronin's hands as she tried to go for the pass, and that's a point for Warroad. They take it right back, 9-7, as number 8, Haley Selvog, goes behind the line to serve for Warroad. So down by 2, Warroad needing to get a rally to take the lead, their first lead of the game. And Chesney Scrine's going to go for a kill, and it is in! Chesney Scrine laying down the law for the Broncos as they're going to sub in number 16, Charlie Swanson, coming in for Cameron Rasmussen. Swanson will go back to serve for the Broncos. Chesney Scrine. She's got 2 kills tonight, and Charlie Swanson almost able to get an ace, but what a saving play by Atlee Larson, running back and keeping it in play. Now Broncos going to set it up for Grasshorn. Larson almost able to keep it up in the air, but unable to get out of the way in time for her teammates, so that's going to be a point for the Broncos off of the hit by, I believe, Grasshorn. Yes, it was Peyton Grasshorn. So now 5 of the Broncos starters have so far gotten points from kills in this game. 1 with an ace, but now make that 2 as Charlie Swanson gets an ace on that serve. So now Broncos extend their lead to 12-7. They're starting their rally that they've been wanting to get here in this contest against Warroad. Swanson with the serve, sends it to the back row, received by Larson. They're going to set it up. That is Reagan Haley, gets the hit over. Chesney Scrine to Grasshorn, blocked. Broncos trying to set up a new play. This time they set it up for Basaraba, bounced off the net. Dig by Brecky, and that hit over the net goes out of bounds. That's another point for the Broncos. Warroad so far in a bit of trouble from the looks of it. So now Charlie Swanson back behind the line for another service as she continues this Broncos rally up 13-7. And she gets her second ace of the night to extend it to a 7-point lead. And we're going to get our first timeout of the game. This called by Coach Draper of the Warroad Warriors. And this timeout is brought to you by Service Master of International Falls for a home professionally cleaned all year round. Call Service Master at 218-283-4475. Todd and Gretchen are going to take great care of you. And so we're going to be back after a quick 30-second break. You are listening and watching on Lakes Country 104.1 KSDM as well as on YourLiveEvent.com from the Rainy River, Minnesota North College Press Box.
Employees at Packaging Corporation of America have been producing quality paper for over a century. We understand our responsibility to the community, and we're honored to support the many needs and events occurring in the borderland. From providing donations to local schools and events, to supporting organizations meeting physical needs in our community, Packaging Corporation of America does more than make paper. We make a difference.
Welcome back to the Rainy River, Minnesota North College Press Box on Lakes Country 104.1 KSDM as well as on YourLiveEvent.com. Broncos lead by 7 here in set number 1 after a big rally. So continuing to be led by Charlie Swanson. And now she's going to serve it once more. And this is going to be an attempt by Libby Olofsson. Send it to the back row. Kokesh to Swanson. Over to Basaraba with a hit that goes over the back line. That's going to be a point for the Warroad Warriors. And now a couple of substitutions coming into the game for Warroad. Number 25, Aaliyah Jackson, and number 14, Unity Gausen. Gausen will be the one to serve for the Warriors. So 14-8, they need a big rally here to try and get back in this game and slow down this Broncos team that's been on fire. Chessie Scrime with the receive. That sends it right back to the Warriors. And miscommunication leads to a point for the Broncos. It looked like for a second, I think it was number 6 for Warroad, Reagan Haley, who was about to go for it. But then hesitation, I think communication with her teammate might have made her hesitate. And that's going to be an ace for the Broncos to capitalize off of the mistake as Lauren Basaraba gets her first ace of the game. Now that's 3 Broncos with ace. 5 of them, 5 of them now with kill. And now it's going to be both Lauren Basaraba and Charlie Swanson, who both have 2 aces in this game, as Basaraba's caught fire as well for the Broncos. 17-8 game here on the PCA scoreboard. Broncos leading and trying to continue to extend. The libero, Anthony, sets it up, and Jackson's able to send it over. And Swanson over to Scrine. She's going to set it up. That's Basaraba off the net, and Basaraba with the kill. Lauren Basaraba gets her second of the game, and she's going to get ready to go back and serve once more. Broncos are up by 10, and so far on fire. Warroad, some growing pains right now. For one, first-year head coach, as well as a couple of injuries that have kind of crippled them. That hit goes out of bounds. That was attempted by, I believe, number 6, Reagan Haley. And so that's going to be a bit too much muscle. I get the intent and where she was aiming for, just a little too far. Basaraba looking to get the Broncos up to 20 points, while Warroad still trying to get to the double digits. Swanson's going to set it up. That's Chessie Scrine, who palm fist over the net. Now they're going to set it up. That's Haley Reagan off the blockers. Broncos going to send it right back over. And now they're going to set it up. This time it's Jackson who goes for the palm fist of doom. No doom at all, as Broncos is set it up for Neva Kokesh, who gets the kill. Broncos extend their lead now 20-8 on the PSA scoreboard. Broncos such a dominant performance in their last home game of the 2025-26 season. And fire me up right now. What a hit by Neva Kokesh to get the point for the Broncos. And now Swanson's going to set up. Neva Kokesh going for another one. Neva Kokesh gets her seconds. She's got 3 kills tonight after that one. And, man, what a night she is having. And that's going to be another timeout called by Coach Draper of Warroad, trying to get her team focused in once more. And you are listening and watching on Lakes Country 104.1 KSDM, as well as on YourLiveEvent.com from the Rainy River, Minnesota North College Press Box.
The unique strengths of Rainy River lie in the fact that you're going to be supported by faculty and staff, and you're going to be supported by the community.
You know all the professors by name, they all know you by name. We're not just a number, like we actually have a face to the name, which is honestly pretty good. I like it. I'm known, everybody else is known in the school. It makes it feel more comfortable to be here, especially being so far away from home.
Fall is a busy season for local businesses. New projects, fresh goals, and big ideas. At TrueStar, we understand what it takes to grow something real because we're right here with you. I'm Ryan Tamevi with TrueStar. Whether you're expanding your shop, upgrading equipment, or planning ahead, we're here to help you move forward with a business loan that fits. TrueStar Federal Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA. Follow us on social media.
With the hit, and that's going to be a great dive by Marble to keep it in play, and Bastrop was able to pass it over the net. Now Warroad gets another chance. They're going to set it up. That time it's number 11, Olofsson, received by Swanson. Chesney Scrine sets it up. That's Neva Kokesh with the Fist of Doom that goes out of bounds, so that ends up spelling doom for the Broncos. That's going to be a point for Warroad, now 21-9 on the PCA scoreboard. Warroad sends number 6, Reagan Haley, behind the line to serve against the Broncos, and that's going to be, unfortunately, out of bounds. 22-9 now on the PCA scoreboard. Broncos continuing their hot streak right now. Chesney Scrine goes behind the line to serve. Subbing in for Marlbowler is number 5, Cami Cronin. Scrine, number 21, serving for the Broncos. Received by Reagan Haley. Now they're going to set it up. That's number 11, Olofsson, sending it over. Dig by Cronin. They set it up for Grasshorn. Received by Reagan Haley again. Now they're going to set it up. That's number 3, Atlee Larson. Chesney Scrine with the receive. Swanson sets it up. That's Kokesh off the blockers and out of bounds. So Broncos able to get another point now, 23-9. Trying to cap off this very dominant first set performance against Warroad. That is also the 4th kill for Neva Kokesh. Chesney Scrine with a serve goes out of bounds. So now Warroad on the Brett side, they reach the double digits. So it's 23-10 now on the PCA scoreboard. With also another note, make sure you tune in to our post-game show because we do have our 2 post-game player awards. Serving is number 13, the libero, Olivia Anthony of Warroad. Swanson sets it up for Kokesh. Kokesh, a little lob over the net. Now they're going to set it up. That's number 8, Haley Selvag with the attempt. Cami Cronin goes for it, but that goes over the line. So now it is going to be a 23-11 game. And it's going to be a huge, huge rally needed by Warroad in order to try and come back in this set. Basaraba to Swanson, sets it up for Kokesh. That's out of bounds. Another point for Warroad, 23-12 on the PCA scoreboard. So Warroad, so far, I think Broncos are starting to lose some the steam that they had in those previous rallies. I wonder if they might have used up most of that steam in those previous rallies. Served by Anthony. Sends it over. That's Basaraba. Sends it right back, and that's going to be a point. I can't tell if that was number 8 or number 3. Kind of want to award it to both Larson and Selvag, but I can only award it to one, I think. But now it's become a 10-point game. 23-13 served by Anthony, and that's off the net, but they are going to say it was just out of bounds of that little baton. I don't know what the name of the thing is. And so quick substitution. Charlie Swanson comes out. Cameron Rasmussen goes back into the game. 24-13, set point right here in the hands of Peyton Grasshorn. As they set it up, that's Larson with an attempt off the net. Broncos are going to win set number 1 here in their last home game. And what a win this would be to win their last home game of the 2025-26 season. And they so far have done everything right as they win the first set, 25-13 over Warroad. To take the 1-0 lead in set. So we're going to get ready for set number 2 now. You are listening and watching on Lakes Country 104.1 KSTM as well as on YourLiveEvent.com.
Ready to ride into fall? Hi, this is Tony Skifstrom at Border Bank. Whether it's an ATV for backwoods thrills or a truck built for bonfire season, Border Bank makes it easy to gear up with a consumer loan that fits your lifestyle. Fast decisions, competitive rates, hometown service that goes the extra mile. So don't just rake leaves, run them over. Apply today at borderbank.com or come visit with me at the bank. Border Bank, customer first, community focused. Member FDIC.
Little birdie that may or may not have been named Ringhofer told me that you used to actually attend Rainy River College here in International Falls. So what was your journey leading from Rainy River to Warroad?
Yeah, so after Rainy River, I returned to Lake of the Woods where I graduated from, coached a few years there, and then ended up going to the cities and being in the cities, just seeing how volleyball is just different, and I ended up being a head coach at 2 different high schools and coaching club, which club down there is November till June, so it was a really competitive volleyball schedule, and I ended up having a little baby girl, so I wanted to be back up north and with family, so you know, not Lake of the Woods, but I'm over in Warroad, and I'm super glad to be there.
Yeah, well, congratulations on the baby, and also congratulations on being the head coach this year. Wish you the best of luck tonight in the game, and thank you for your time.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I am a little embarrassed that apparently the first words out of my mouth were congratulations, but she said that it was a good interview, so I'm going to take her word for it. But yeah, fun fact about Coach Draper, she is a Rainy River alumni, so kind of coming back to her old stomping grounds here. Also alumni from Lake of the Woods, went down to the cities, came back up with her family, and now she's coaching at Warroad. Not necessarily back at home, but I mean still in the general area, so that's pretty cool. That's a really cool story, I think. So glad to have her back. We're getting ready for set number 2 now. Broncos leading 1-0 after a dominant 25-13 win over Warroad. And so in this set, it's going to be the Broncos serving first. And so Broncos, they are going to want to get another hot start early in this first set of volleyball, kind of like they did in their previous set. Substitutions are being made as both teams get ready to bring in their libero. There is the buzzer for the end of the intermission between sets. And so getting ready. Serve by Swanson to start this second set. An attempt by number 6. Reagan Haley goes out the back line, and that's going to be a point for the Broncos to start 1-0 on the PCA scoreboard. And that's going to be another Broncos point after the serve. Broncos sending it over the line. That was Chesley Scrine getting the touch for the kill. She has 3 now. So 2-0 lead here. Broncos off again to a hot start for tonight. Serving is number 16, Charlie Swanson once more. And that's going to be Charlie Swanson getting her second ace. No, third. I was looking at the wrong one. Third ace of the night to make it now a 3-0 lead over Warroad. So Broncos setting the pace, setting the tone in set number 2. Serve. That is number 4, Grasshorn with the hit over the net. No good. Jackson sends it back over. That's on the line, and that's a point for the Broncos after the hit by Aaliyah Jackson of Warroad. So 3-1. Broncos leading by 2. Warroad sends number 14, Unity Gausen, to serve. That's received by Grasshorn. A hit by Haley to keep it on their side. Now it's going to be Anthony over to Gausen. And that's going to be a point for Warroad. And now Warroad's made it a 3-2 game. Warroad has done, this is kind of similar to the first set where Warroad's able to climb back but not fully take a lead over the Broncos. And so now they got to keep this momentum going. And they can't lose it early, and they can't lose it one bit against his Broncos because we've seen what they've done in that first set if they catch fire. Now, Warroad, they set it up. This is number 15, Unity James, Anna James with a attempt. And then Basaraba responds with their own attempt. That becomes a point for the Broncos, 4-2. Lauren Basaraba gets her third one of the night. So Broncos, multiple seniors. Serve by Basaraba. Almost an ace, but Warroad somehow kept in play. That was Anna James with a great effort. Now Charlie Swanson punches it over. They're going to set it up. That's Jackson with the attempt, but that's off the net. Point for the Broncos. 5-2 on the PCA scoreboard. Serve by Basaraba, keeping the momentum going. 5-2 lead. That will be an ace for Basaraba, making it now a 6-2 game, thanks to Lauren Basaraba's third ace of the game. So Broncos now with a 4-point lead. Lauren Basaraba. That serve is received by Anthony. They're going to set it up. This is Jackson trying to go for an underhand, but I think she hesitated a little because she got a little close to the net. She didn't want to run into the net or run into the referee. So Broncos 7-2 on the PCA scoreboard. Lauren Basaraba continuing the rally from the service line. Broncos are up 1-0 against Warroad. They're going to set it up. This is number 6, Reagan Haley. Goes for the attempt off the net. No good. So now it looks like Warroad has had the issues that the Broncos were thinking they were going to have or that they've been working on to avoid having, which is attacking the net and getting their attempts over the net. And this timeout is brought to you by Service Master of International Falls for a home professionally cleaned all year round. Call Service Master at 218-283-4475. Todd and Gretchen are going to take great care of you. Timeout called by head coach Draper of Warroad Warriors. Down 8-2, early 6-point lead for the Broncos. Broncos, they didn't want to keep it close at the start of this one like they did in the previous set. They're trying to run away with this one, and they're looking to try and get a quick 3-set victory is what I'm assuming. I mean, I think that's what most teams try and go for, but you never know. Some teams might be a little bit more cautionary. I know some teams have, the Buffalo Bills, they tend to be notorious with playing at the level of their competition. And so they can't do that here tonight. Broncos, they only have the one injury, which is number 6, senior Peyton Russo, as the other senior, Lauren Basaraba, wearing number 9, so just take Russo's number and flip it upside down. She gets an ace, her 4th one, as Lauren Basaraba is now leading her team in service aces. And now Broncos, almost a miscommunication, and Chessie Scrine's hit, able on it. Goes a little too far out of reach as Charlie Swanson isn't able to save the play, so that's a point for Warroad. Great effort by Swanson diving for that one, but no good. 9-3 now. It's Aaliyah Jackson back to serve for Warroad. Jackson with the serve. That's received by Buller or Basaraba. Looked like they were both there. Hit by Scrine, goes out, and that's number 15, Anna James, getting the point for Warroad. So now they are trying to climb back once again, 9-4. Like chutes and ladders, and they are climbing the ladder. Warroad. Served by Jackson. Basaraba receives. Swanson sets it up. That's Kokesh. Gets it over. Dig by Jackson. Now they're going to set it up. That's Larson with the attempt. Larson with the kill. Now Warroad makes it a 4-point game. That's another ladder climbed by Warroad. Thanks to Atlee Larson's kill, she's got 2 of them. Serve by Jackson. Jackson sends it over. That's to the back line. Bastrop receives. Swanson sets it up. That's Chesney Scrine with the kill. And Broncos just sent the Warroad Warriors down a chute as they were trying to climb back into this one. 10-5 the lead after Chesney Scrine gets herself another deadly kill. Going to be wanted for murder if she keeps this up. Chesney Scrine with the serve for the Broncos. Warroad sets it up. That is Reagan Haley. Little too low. I think she might have jumped a little too late or maybe too early on her attempt. That leads to the Broncos' point as her hit bounces off the net. Chesney Scrine with the serve. Sends it to the back row. Received by Anthony. They're going to set it up. That's set up for number 15, James, Anna James. Charlie Swanson sets it up. Kokesh bounces off the net. And that's going to be Neva Kokesh getting the kill for the Broncos, deciding to just dribble it off of that net to get the point. Neva Kokesh now makes herself one of the leaders for the Broncos. In fact, she makes herself the leader for the Broncos in kills in today's contest. Chesney Scrine to Swanson, both able to keep it in play and in the air. Basaraba passes it over. Now Warriors going to set it up. That is Larson gets the kill. Another dig by Scrine. Swanson sets it up. And Grasshorn, flat-footed, sends it towards the far side corner on Warroad's side of the court, and that's a point for the Broncos and a kill for Peyton Russo. She's got 3 of them so far tonight. So Broncos now have a 13-5 lead. Hit by Anna James goes out of bounds. That's another point for the Broncos. And these errors by Warroad have been certainly very determining of today's game. Great dig, though. By Jackson to keep it in play. And Atlee Larson goes up and brings the ball back down with a kill. So that's going to be a point for Warroad as Atlee Larson gets her 3rd kill of the game. And now it's 14-6 with number 6. Speaking of 6, it's number 6, Reagan Haley, back to serve. Kokesh gets the attempt, no good off the net. That's another point for Warroad. So Warroad doing their best to take advantage of these Bronco errors as Reagan Haley back to serve once more. 14-7 on the PCA scoreboard. Serve by Haley goes to Mara Buller. That's Charlie Swanson who sets it up. Buller gets her own attempt. Palm fist of doom. No good. Dig by Reagan Haley. Now they're going to set it up. That's number 15. Anna James with an attempt. No good. Neva Kokesh. Another palm fist of doom. And that one hits the hardwood. And that's going to be a point for the Broncos. 15-7 now. How Broncos get a 8-point lead off of Neva Kokesh's touch over the net. And so now Broncos with another attempt to extend the lead. Miscommunication almost went awry, but Cameron Rasmussen able to send it back over the net. Now it's Larson, palm fist of doom. Over to the Broncos side. They set it up for Kokesh. Off the blockers. Kept in play by Jackson. Brought back into the play by Unity Galzin. And Jackson unable to get it back over the net. That's another point for the Broncos. Now 16-7 on the PCA scoreboard. Special shout out as I see entering the crowd are some of the players from the Rainy River Voyagers volleyball team who have been having quite a successful season this year. So shout out to them. Thank you guys for coming out to tonight's game. They set it up. Warroad with an attempt by Larson. Dig by Grasshorn, just out of reach though, and that's a point for Warroad off the hit. That was once again Atlee Larson. She gets her 4th of the game. She has been a big component, one of the backbones of tonight's game. And that's number 1 for Warroad. Catherine Brecky trying to serve off the net. No good. Broncos take it right back, and that's going to be a timeout called as Warroad uses up their last timeout of the game. Or of the set, excuse me, not of the game, but of the set. And this is another timeout that is brought to you by Service Master of International Falls for a home professionally cleaned all year round. Call Service Master at 218-283-4475. Todd and Gretchen are going to take great care of you. And I also see Coach Nosen of the Voyagers in the crowd today. So joining her players from Rainy River, and another Voyager I just see walk into the gym is a Bronco alumni, Carson Corpy. So really great to see the Rainy River Voyagers volleyball team coming in to support the hometown team, the Broncos. Really great to see them showing support to the local teams here. It's crazy. Fun fact about Rainy River, because we keep talking about them. Draper being a alumni from Rainy River. Her, actually, I feel like if my numbers are correct, like 90% of the team this year that Shelby Nosen brought in from recruitments are actually international players. One from the Netherlands, one from Turkey, one from Italy, one from Mexico, and quite a few from Canada. So shout out to you ladies coming all the way from way out of the country, not even out of state, but out of the country to come play here in our little remote town. It's really great to see that. And also really cool to see some of our local girls, such as Juliana Holte and Carson Corpy. He also playing for the Voyagers as well. Neva Kokesh to serve for the Broncos after the timeout, and that's off the net. That's a point for Warroad, 17-9. Warroad down by 8. And for a second, nobody went to retrieve the ball. Now, luckily, one of the Sonny brothers, who is usually here at these games recording, was able to kick one over. Served by Larson, received by Whitbeck. That's Mara Buller with the bump, and Bastaraba passes it over. Larson keeps it in play. They set it up. That is going to be number 25, Jackson, going for the attempt. No good. Now Bronco set it up, and Bastaraba, flat-footed, goes over the back line. Now it is, once again, a 7-point game, 17-10. Warroad's been doing a good job trying to climb back in this one, but that lead by the Broncos keeps climbing faster and faster. So Warroad has a lot of catching up to do to try and come back in this set. Grasshorn sets it up. That's Rasmussen. No good. Dig by Jackson. Now that's a touch by Haley Selvog, who sends it over the net and gets the point for Warroad. Now 17-11 on the PSA scoreboard, thanks to Haley Selvog. Serving once again is Larson. Atlee Larson sends it to Kokesh, and miscommunication leads to an Atlee Larson ace. Kokesh got the dig, and it looked like it was a miscommunication between Grasshorn and Whitbeck on who was going to get the following bump. So now it is 17-12, and that's another ace. Kokesh ducking, wrong choice. Atlee Larson now gets 2 in a row. Broncos seems a little discombobulated now, as this went from a 8-point lead now to a 5-point lead. And Warroad continues climbing back. Warroad could climb back still. They do indeed. That is another point for Warroad. Now it's 17-14. Sorry for those of you watching on YourLiveEvent.com. I forgot to continue updating the score, but now it is a 3-point margin. Warroad continuing to climb back, led by Atlee Larson from the service line. Grasshorn sets it up. This is Rasmussen with an attempt. Blocked. Rasmussen able to send it back over. Jackson over to Brecky. That is back foot, off foot. Vivian Markauka, who back foot, kind of a fadeaway hit, able to get it over the net. And now Broncos, they call their first timeout of the match. Again, this is another timeout brought to you by Service Master of International Falls. And Broncos just trying to get back into their groove from that first set. They're like, hey, what's going on, you guys? We were up by 7, 8, probably 9 at one point, and now we've let them rally back. What is happening here? And so Broncos just trying to recalibrate as we get ready for this upcoming second set continued. Broncos up 17-15 on the PSA scoreboard. Don't forget to tune in after the game for our post-game player awards, such as our Enbridge Energy Player of the Game, which goes to the player with the most energetic, energizing, and amazing play of the game, as well as Domino's Pizza. Looking for a quick, easy, and delicious dinner, then look no further than your local Domino's with more than just pizza. Domino's is the perfect carryout after the game or have it delivered. Great deals are always happening at Domino's. 283-3444. Domino's, your lunch or dinner destination today. And the player of the game from the Broncos will receive a Domino's Pizza. And Broncos able to get a point after the serve by Larson. So Broncos slow down the momentum built up by Warroad. Quick substitution, whip back in. Morin DeMars comes into the game. excuse me, I got that mixed up. Whitbeck out, Morin DeMars in. Chesney Scrine also comes into the game, subbing in for Mara Buller, the libero. Morin DeMars serves towards the back row. Anthony receives. They set it up. That is once again Markalka with the attempt, and Markalka's point hit does lead to a Warroad point. Now it's 18-16 on the PCA scoreboard, and Haley Selvog is going to go to the line to serve. Selvog with the serve for Warroad. Grasshorn sets it up. That's Rasmussen sending it over, and Rasmussen getting the point for the Broncos. So Broncos now back up to a 3-point lead, 19-16. One thing I will commend them for is the fact that they haven't allowed Warroad to get any kind of lead in either of the sets they've played them in. But Warroad has been coming close a couple of times here as Swanson serves for the Broncos. And that goes out of bounds. For a second, it looked like a Warroad player was about to touch it before it went out of bounds. But smart move, pulling their hands away, ducking out of the way, dodging, weaving. And they are able to get the point. Now 19-17, back to a 2-point game. Subbed into the game, and who's going to go back to serve as well as number 14, Unity Gausen. Gausen with the serve. Gausen sends it to the back row. That's Neva Kokesh. Swanson sets it up. This is going to be Grasshorn with an attempt. Grasshorn with the point. Broncos take it right back. And just a tug-of-war match right now between these two teams as it just keeps going back and forth, back and forth. Broncos, much to their credit, this allows them to keep the lead in their favor, but Warroad keeps climbing back into this one as Larson goes for the attempt, received by Kokesh. Swanson sets it up. This is Grasshorn. Grasshorn dive by Larson, sends her right back over. Now Chesley Scrine running, crossing into the hardwood. Chesley Scrine gets the point for the Broncos. Now 21-17 on the PCA scoreboard. Chesley Scrine, she has now 5 kills on the day. Lauren Bastrava is to serve for the Broncos as it is 21-17. A much closer second set compared to that first one as Warroad starting to gain their bearings in this game as that was Reagan Haley who sends it over. Broncos miscommunication. Somehow hit by Grasshorn sends her right back over the net, and that leads to Jackson, whose attempt goes over the line. So a miracle keeps the Broncos on a roll here. Somehow, some witchcraft by Grasshorn, able to roll it, spin it a little on top of the net before landing on Warroad's side. But that's going to be an attempt by Reagan Haley, who goes out of bounds. And so now Warroad a little confused. Who's probably from that hit early. I'm confused how that went over. But Bastrava continuing to serve. 23-17. Broncos leading. 2 points away from taking set number 2 and a 2-set lead. Swanson over to Kokesh. That goes out of bounds, though, so they're going to have to wait to get that. Now it's Warroad. 5-point lead for the Warriors. Jackson goes back to serve for Warroad. Jackson sends it to the back row. That is a dig by Basaraba, and that's an ace for Jackson. Now it is 23-19. That is a reference, by the way, to the Pixar movie Monsters, Inc., for those of you who didn't know. Fun fact of the day, brought to you by Augie Schmidt, live from the Rainy River, Minnesota North College Press Box. Shout out to the Rainy River Voyagers volleyball team, by the way, who's here in the crowd. Swanson sets it up. That's Kokesh with an attempt. Little bunny hop over. Kokesh gets the point. Broncos now have set point, and they're going to put it in the hands of number 21, Chesney Scrine, who has 1 ace tonight. 4 kills. Substitution coming into the game was Cami Cronin, as well as number 20, Eliana Koenig. And so Koenig's going to be the one to serve instead for the Broncos. They're going to let her be the one to try and take the set point right here. 24-19. Broncos lead on the PCA scoreboard, but they set it up for Larson, who bounces off the net. Larson so far keeps the Broncos at bay. Now it's 24-20. And Warroad, they have a chance if they can get 4 perfect serves from number 6, Reagan Haley. Then the Broncos are going to be in some trouble here. Reagan Haley with the serve. That's an attempt. Kept in play, though. That's another attempt by Larson. Kept in play by Koenig. And that's a point for the Warriors. 24-21. Warroad trying to start a rally here late in set number 2. This has been an exciting set so far. I hope you guys are loving it as much as I am. Served by Reagan Haley. Almost an ace. Kept in play by Kokesh, but unable to get it over the net. The set from Swanson over to Grasshorn was a little too far outside, so the angle just wasn't right enough. As we get another attempt, 24-22. A 2-point lead for the Broncos. They just need to get 1 point to keep Warroad out of this game. Cronin sends it over. That's received by Galzin. Now it's going to be Larson with an attempt, trying to get the equalizer. Swanson sets it up. Kokesh off the ceiling, but Grasshorn kept in play. Grasshorn somehow gets the point. Broncos now take set number 2, and they are going to take a 2-set lead in this one. 25-22 the final in set number 2. And Broncos, probably sweating a little there. That was a little nerve-wracking, like, oh my gosh, they almost came back on us. That was scary. If you're a Bronco, if you're a Warroad Warrior, you're like, oh, hey, we're still in this. We still got this. Don't worry, guys. Let's just do what we did right, and we got this. So let's get ready for this upcoming set number 3, just about underway. You are listening and watching on Lakes Country, 104.1 KSDM from the Rainy River, Minnesota North College Press Box, as well as on YourLiveEvent.com.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
Hi, this is Rob from Falls Lumber Company. I'm new to the company, though not to the industry. If you're looking to remodel your kitchen or bathroom, stop in and see me in the Design Center. I can help you pick out the perfect cabinets or countertops from brands such as Crystal Cabinets, Cambria, Corian, and Silestone. If you're in need of flooring, we have options including luxury vinyl plank, hardwood, engineered hardwood, and tile. Stop into the Design Center to see me anytime. When you're looking to build or remodel, come to the experts at Falls Lumber Company, 201 4th Street in International Falls.
Employees at Packaging Corporation of America have been producing quality paper for over a century. We understand our responsibility to the community, and we're honored to support the many needs and events occurring in the borderland. From providing donations to local schools and events, to supporting organizations meeting physical needs in our community, Packaging Corporation of America does more than make paper. We make a difference.
The unique strengths of Rainy River lie in the fact that you're going to be supported by faculty and staff, and you're going to be supported by the community.
You know, all the professors by name, they all know you by name. We're not just a number, like we actually have a face to the name, which is honestly pretty good. I like it. I'm known, everybody else is known in the school. It makes it feel more comfortable to be here, especially being so far away from home.
I also want to welcome those of you who are watching on YourLiveEvent.com. We have our action set up for a third set of volleyball. It's the International Falls Broncos hosting the Warroad Warriors. Broncos are currently up 2-0 on the set scoreboard, and they had a very dominant first set to take the lead, and then it was a much closer second set where Warroad almost came back on them. Broncos were up 24-20, and then Warroad started to climb back in, and they were able to almost complete the comeback, but Broncos able to hold out towards the end, and now we're getting ready for set number 3. Warroad is served to start the third set, and so Warroad looks like they are continuing to get their bearings here in this upcoming third set. A bit of a slow start, kind of got a little bit of a smack to the face in that first set that kind of woke them up. Neva Kokesh receives, set, and that is a powerful kill by Peyton Grasshorn to silence me, specifically me. As I was talking about Warroad trying to come back in this one, and Peyton Grasshorn's like, nuh-uh, no way. We can't let that happen. So it's also going to be Basaraba, who is going to be serving for the Broncos. That is an attempt by number 23, Markauka, who ends up getting the kill. She's been a player who's been really stepping up for Warroad today. As Draper has a couple words for her players, talking about, hey, stay locked in now. We know what we did in the last set that was correct. Let's do that again. That was a serve by Reagan Haley, and that's going to be a point for Warroad. They get their first lead of the game, believe it or not. In 3 sets, it took the third for them to get their first lead of the game. It is once again Reagan Haley to serve for Warroad. Haley sends it. That is off the top of the net and received by Skrine. Kokesh with an attempt. That's received by Haley. They set it up. This is number 3 with a running start. Larson bounced off the blockers. Swanson sets it up. Kokesh with the attempt off the blockers and kept in play by Haley with the dive. Now Swanson's going to set up. This is Grasshorn with her turn off the blockers. Kept up in the air by one of them. Now it's Larson. Blocked. Kept up in the air by Larson as well. Sorry, I keep messing up her name. Markauka with an attempt, and Warroad gets the point. Warroad now gets a 3-1 lead, and I apologize to number 23, Vivian Markauka. The last name is just too many syllables for my small brain. Serving once more is Reagan Haley, trying to continue the rally here. 3-1 lead. Kokesh able to send it over the net. Larson receives. Now they're going to set it up. That is number 8, Haley Selvog with the attempt. Skrine for Kokesh. Now Warroad, they set it up. This is going to be Larson with a left-hander. Kept up in the air by Grasshorn. Swanson sets it up. Kokesh again, but off the net. Point for Warroad. Now Warroad seems to be the one who has all the momentum in their corner in this third set of play. Reagan Haley goes back to serve once again. PCA scoreboard says Warroad is leading 4-1, and it's going to take a reverse sweep by Warroad in order to get a win here today. Kokesh, though, with a powerful, powerful hit and a powerful, powerful kill to make it a 4-2 game. Broncos still down by 2, but they're going to put it in the hands of Chesney Skrine to help keep them back in this game. Skrine with the serve, received by Anthony, the libero. They're going to set it up. This is Larson with an attempt. Larson hits the net. That's a point for the Broncos, 4-3. Warroad leads by 1 now. Skrine to serve for the Broncos. Chesney Skrine prepping herself. She serves it. That's received again by the libero, Anthony. They set it up. That was set up from Unity Galzin to behind her, intended for number 8, Selvog. No good, though. That goes out of bounds, so Broncos get the point, and that is going to be a tied game. Chesney Skrine goes back behind the service line to serve once again. Skrine, that's received. That is number 26, Eliana Jacobson. Blocked by the Broncos, but kept in play and sent over the net by number 13, Anthony. And a hit by one of the frontliners. That was Larson, who went for the hit, trying to get it the ball over the net, off to the 50-50, sends it out of bounds instead. So Chesney Skrine gets another serve. 5-4, Broncos lead by 1 after the rally. And now Vivian sends it over the net, almost putting the Broncos in trouble. Vivian has been exploding lately in these offensive attacks. Now it's Warroad with another attempt. That's Vivian once more. Swanson sets it up. This is Kokesh with her own attempt. Bounced off the top of the net, kept up in the air by Vivian. Now they're going to set up. This is Larson with an attempt, and Larson gets the kill. Atlee Larson, at first somewhat dormant in this third set, but now she has awoken and helped tie the game up. She has 7 kills total for Warroad as the leading hitter for the visiting Warriors. That serve was by Haley Selvog. Swanson sets it up. That is Grasshorn with a running start, blocked by Warroad. Swanson over to Nick Kokesh. Bunny hop, kept in play, dive by Larson. That's sent over the net by number 26, Eliana Jacobson, but over the back line. Broncos back in the lead by 1. 6-5 now on the PCA scoreboard. As the Broncos make a quick substitution, they still haven't added the Broncos score on this. There it is. I hate to be the one correcting the scoreboard in there because I think they're doing a good job. Now, that was number 11, Libby Olofsson with an attempt. Olofsson gets the point for Warroad, tying it up once again. This is a tight tight third set we're having here, back and forth already between the two teams. Substitution coming into the game is number 1, Catherine Brecky. She subs in for number 23, Vivian Markalka. Brecky with the serve. Sends it to the back row. Kokesh receives, and that's going to be an ace for Brecky. So now Warroad back up in the lead, 7-6. So a 6-7 score in favor of the Warriors as Grasshorn sets it up. This is Rasmussen sending it towards the back line. That is, they say it was inbounds or possibly tipped by a Warroad Warrior. It looked like it was, I can't tell if that was meant to be tipped out of bounds or on the line. And so Brecky, one of the Warroad player, the frontliners, goes over to the ref to ask the question from Draper, as she is also confused. Kokesh prepared to serve for the Broncos behind the line. 7-7 tie on the PCA scoreboard. Kokesh serves towards the back line, received by Anthony. That's Brecky who sets it up. That's Larson with an attempt over the net. Almost kept up in the air, but no good. Broncos unable to salvage it. That's a point for the Warriors. Substitution coming in real quick. That's number 6, Reagan Haley, subbing in for Jacobson. Serving once more is Atlee Larson. Larson, one of the leaders for Warroad in this attack, but that serve looked like it could have been one of those dark magic serves that ends up hitting the net, but ends up kind of flipping over onto the other side. But that one didn't have the same kind of luck. Bounced onto the Warroad side, and no good. So Broncos get the point. Mara Bowler, the libero, serving. I believe her first serve of the game, actually. They set it up. That is number 11, Libby Olafson, able to get the point for Warroad. So Warroad back up to a 1-point lead. It is 9-8. In this third set. Again, Warroad, they have a bit of a climb. If they want to try and come away with a win tonight, they're going to have to make a reverse sweep, which means they got to play perfect volleyball for 3 straight sets. And it's going to be tough when they're playing such close sets. That is number 21, Jesney Skrine, getting the hit for the Broncos. That is Broncos tying it up once again. Neither team able to get an inch, let alone a yard, not even a mile in this set. And it has been constant back and forth. Charlie Swanson looking to be the answer to the Broncos' prayers and getting a rally going and taking back the lead. But that's going to be out of bounds. So now it is Warroad back up by 1, 10-9 on the PSA scoreboard. Back to serve for the Warriors is number 14, Unity Galzin. Galzin with the serve. That is received by Bowler, the libero. Swanson sets it up. This is Basaraba, blocked by Warroad. Kokesh keeps it up in the air. Swanson over to Grasshorn. Blocked again. Kept up in the air by Basaraba. Jesney Skrine over to Grasshorn. Grasshorn sends it over now. Now it's going to be Galzin over to Vivian, too much power on that attempt. That goes behind the back line and out of bounds. So Warroad gives up the lead. It is a tied game once again, 10-0. Lauren Basaraba to serve for the Broncos. She sends it to Anthony, the libero. That's set up for number 8, Ola Selvag. Now it's Kokesh with her own attempted cross. That's received by Larson. They set it up. This time it's going to be number 6, Reagan Haley with an attempt. But Broncos, they get their first lead after these last couple of serve receives. 11-10 now on the PCA scoreboard. Broncos leading in set number 3. Set up by Galzin. That is a hit by Selvag, no good. Now it's Jesney Skrine with her own hit, received by Anthony. Galzin over to Selvag, no good. Jesney Skrine sets it up. That's Grasshorn, sends it over the back line. That's out of bounds. Tied game once again, 11-all. So Warroad, they send number 6, Reagan Haley, to the back line to serve for Warroad. Tied game, 11-all. Haley sends it. That's a dive by Bullard. No good, though. That leads to an ace for Haley. Reagan Haley. I almost said it in the reverse order. I apologize. So 12-11 lead for Warroad. Reagan Haley with the serve. Skrine receives. Swanson over to Kokesh. Now that's Larson. to Galzin, over to Vivian. Vivian bounced off of the net and off of a Bronco blocker. Galzin sends it over. Kokesh keeps it up in the air. Grasshorn back to Kokesh. Kokesh towards the back corner. No good, just out of bounds. Warroad, they build up a 2-point lead now, 13-11 on the PCA scoreboard. Broncos have a 2-0 lead in sets, but Warroad looks like climbing back, and they have certainly found a rhythm here tonight, as that's going to be tipped, so that's going to be an ace. Looked like Chesley Scrime was going to let it go, and then Basaraba was diving for it. So an ace for Haley Reagan. She gets her second of the night, second of the set, too. That's 2 diving digs by Basaraba. One of them stayed in bounds. The other one went out of bounds. And so we're going to get a quick timeout called by Broncos head coach Erin Hall, her first timeout of set number 3 and the first timeout in general for both teams of set number 3. And it's 15-11. Warroad leads on the PSA scoreboard. You are listening and watching on Lakes Country 104.1 KSDM as well as on EuroLiveEvent.com.
Fall is a busy season for local businesses. New projects, fresh goals, and big ideas. At TrueStar, we understand what it takes to grow something real because we're right here with you. I'm Ryan Tamevi with TrueStar. Whether you're expanding your shop, upgrading equipment, or planning ahead, we're here to help you move forward with a business loan that fits. TrueStar Federal Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA. Follow us on social media.
More at minnesotanorth.edu.
By the way, we are live from the Rainy River, Minnesota North College press box. Start your voyage at the Rainy River campus. Your future awaits you right here in your own backyard. Rainy River, Minnesota North College, 218-598-9300. That is a point for the Broncos, provided by number 2, Neva Kokesh. She gets her, I count 8 apparently, but they say 6 up there, so I'm going to say that my number's correct. Chesney Scrine to serve for the Broncos. Received by Warroad. That's Galzin. Sets it up for number 8, Selvog. And after the block by the Broncos, that leads to an off hit that goes too far backwards after Selvog tried to keep it up in the air. And that is a point again for the Broncos. So 15-13, Broncos down by 2, trying to climb back and climb using the shoulders of Chesney Scrime's services. But Warroad's going to stave that for now as they send it back over. Broncos set it up. Cami Cronin trying to get her first piece of action. Sends it over the back line and right to the officer who's back there in the corner. I was thinking I might go to the pep band that's over in the corner of the bleachers over there, but luckily they got saved. Thank you, officer, for your services. And so service for Warroad is number 8, Selvog. Broncos gives the attempt to Grasshorn, but the punch is a little too low. 17-13. Warroad flipping the script in this third set as they are now leading by 4 points over the Broncos. And that's going to be off the net, so point for the Broncos after the serve is too low. Quick substitution coming into the game is number 18, Cameron Rasmussen, subbing in for Charlie Swanson. 14-17, Broncos down by 3. Grasshorn looking to lead the team, but that goes too far. Another service error by the Broncos. And so subbing into the game for Warroad is number 1, Brecky. So 4-point lead still for Warroad. Brecky to serve for the Warriors. That's received by Basaraba. Grasshorn keeps up the air. Rasmussen with an attempt. That's received by Anthony. Sends it right back to the Broncos. Rasmussen able to get over the net, and that leads to a point for the Broncos. Eva Kokesh leapt up to try and keep it over on their side, and that's International Falls point. I wonder if that counts as a kill. I don't know. I don't think it does. Personally, I don't think it does, but that's just me. Kokesh to serve. 15-18 lead for Warroad. Cami Cronin to Rasmussen, punches it over. That goes out of bounds. That's another point for Warroad. So Broncos now in the same predicament that Warroad was in the previous set, where they just can't keep. They tried and climbed back. They're getting good rallies, but then Warroad just keeps climbing back up to a comfortable lead. Here, keeping the Broncos at arm's length. Not blowing them out, really, but keeping them at arm's length. Grasshorn sets it up. That's Rasmussen with an attempt. Received by Larson. Brecky over to number 11, Olafson. Now Grasshorn sets it up. Mara Bowler gets a palm fist of doom. No good. Galzin sets it up, running into a teammate, and that's blocked by the Broncos. Attempted by Reagan Haley. Broncos get the point. I believe that might have, I didn't see who got the block there, but Chesley Scrine comes into the game, subbing in for Mara Bowler. Cami Cronin goes back to serve. Cronin with the serve. Iffy received by Anthony, but Warroad keeps it in play, passes it over. Now Kokesh sets it up. That's Grasshorn over to Scrine. Scrine with a little bunny hop over. Dig by Anthony. Now they're going to set up. That is Haley with the attempt. Now Basraba passes it over. Brecky over to Galzin, sets it up. That's Olofsson, sent it to the back row. Received by Grasshorn. Scrine sets it up, and Rasmussen gets the hit. And so far, I will say, I will commend both teams. Not really any net fouls, as that hit by Reagan Haley gets over the net. And now it is 2016, thanks to Reagan Haley's kill. And it is now a 4-point game with Warroad, this time being the team to be knocking on the door. Serve by Anthony. Grasshorn over to Scrine. Off the net, though. So that's now a 5-point lead. Warroad is right there trying to get their reverse sweep set up. But here's the thing. They got to outlast for another 3 sets. Broncos, they just need to win one more of these next couple of sets. And that's going to be an ace for Warroad. So Warroad doing something right here. And so we're going to get a quick timeout called by the Broncos head coach, Erin Hall, her second timeout of the set. And so that's another one brought to you by Service Master of International Falls. For a home professionally cleaned all year round, call Service Master at 218-283-4475. Todd and Gretchen are going to take great care of you. We'll be back after the break.
Ready to ride into fall? Hi, this is Tony Skifstrom at Border Bank. Whether it's an ATV for backwoods thrills or a truck built for bonfire season, Border Bank makes it easy to gear up with a consumer loan that fits your lifestyle. Fast decisions, competitive rates, hometown service that goes the extra mile. So don't just rake leaves, run them over. Apply today at borderbank.com or come visit with me at the bank. Border Bank, customer first, community focused. Member FDIC.
Welcome back to the Rainy River, Minnesota North College press box. Warroad leading by 6, but service error by Brecky. That goes out of bounds, leads to the Broncos having a glimmer of hope. They are down by 5. They need Charlie Swanson to lead them to the promised land, which is a 3-set victory over the visitors from Warroad. Swanson to serve. Charlie Swanson has 3 aces in this game. She has a second most on the team. Basaraba with 4 to lead the team. Swanson sets it up. That's Basaraba with the attempt. No good. Dig by Larson as Haley sends it over. Bowler with the receive. Swanson sets it up. That's Chesley Scrine out the blockers. Kept up in the air by Barecki with a nice dig. Anthony over to Haley. Not able to actually go for the kill, so they just pass it over. Scrine sets it up. Grasshorn punches it over. Barecki and both Brecky and Larson trying to go for the bump. That sends it backwards and out of reach. Great effort, though, by the libero, Anthony, to try and sprint back there and keep it in play. Broncos now down by 5. Charlie Swanson leading. Broncos needing a huge rally and a huge comeback late in this set in order to come away with the win. Charlie Swanson with the attempt. That's ace for Swanson. Hesitation as it looked like number 14, Unity Galzin, was about to try and go for the bump after the receive by Anthony, but she hesitated. She felt like she was too close to the ref's little perch next to the net, and that led to the ace for Swanson. Swanson now ties her teammate, Lauren Basaraba, for aces today. Swanson with the serve, received by Larson, high in the air, off the ceiling. Brecky able to keep it up in the air, though. Great effort there. Scrine's going to set it up. This goes to Basaraba off the net, and they're going to say that is going to be a Warroad point. 4 hits for the Broncos. Didn't touch the blockers. So now it is going to be in the hands of I can't see your number. Number 4? Oh, 14. Number 14, Unity Galzin, to send them to the promised land. Up by 4, 23-19. Bastaraba with an attempt, sends it over. Galzin keeps it up in the air. Anthony over to Vivian. But that's going to be a point for the Broncos now. Broncos need 3 perfect serves from number 9, Lauren Bastaraba, in order to come away with a win in today's match. And we're going to get a timeout called by Warroad here late in the set. Warroad need 2 points to take away the win in this third set. Broncos just need to get 3 to tie it and keep Warroad out of this set. And so we're going to be back after this Service Master timeout on Lakes Country 104.1 KSDM, as well as on YourLiveEvent.com.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Rainy River, Minnesota North College Press Box. Start your voyage at the Rainy River campus. Your future awaits you right here in your own backyard. Rainy River, Minnesota North College, 218-598-9300. And it is currently on the PSA scoreboard a 24-20 game after Warroad is able to get a hit off the net. But they're going to say a net foul. A costly net foul. This is actually the first one of the game from either side. And this one's going to really cost Warroad, as Broncos are currently rolling right now, 23-20. 23-21, but that ace makes it 23-22 now. Broncos, they could complete the comeback. Broncos just need to get this one win in this set in order to take it all. Lauren Bastaraba gets the ace for the Broncos. She leads the team with 5 aces. Now Warroad able to send it back over to the Broncos side of the net. They don't want to give them a comeback, and that off hit by Grasshorn hits the net. That is a Warroad point. 24-22. Broncos cannot give up another point now. They need to take it back, and they need to score another one after taking it back. But Reagan Haley gets the serve for Warroad. She has 2 aces today. Now it's Larson, and Larson gets the point. Broncos unable to close it in 3. Warroad does a good job of staying strong there and staying with it to get themselves a 2-1 deficit and have a chance to maybe try and set up a reverse sweep. But we're going to have to wait and see as we get ready for set number 4. You are listening and watching on Lakes Country 104.1 KSDM, as well as on YourLiveEvent.com. Set number 4 incoming on the Rainy River, Minnesota North College Press Box.
Hi, this is Rob from Falls Lumber Company. I'm new to the company, though not to the industry. If you're looking to remodel your kitchen or bathroom, stop in and see me in the Design Center. I can help you pick out the perfect cabinets or countertops from brands such as Crystal Cabinets, Cambria, Corian, and Silestone. If you're in need of flooring, we have options including luxury vinyl plank, hardwood, engineered hardwood, and tile. Stop into the Design Center to see me anytime. When you're looking to build or remodel, come to the experts at Falls Lumber Company, 201 4th Street in International Falls.
Employees at Packaging Corporation of America have been producing quality paper for over a century. We understand our responsibility to the community, and we're honored to support the many needs and events occurring in the borderland. From providing donations to local schools and events, to supporting organizations meeting physical needs in our community, Packaging Corporation of America does more than make paper. We make a difference.
The unique strengths of Rainy River lie in the fact that you're going to be supported by faculty and staff, and you're going to be supported by the community.
You know, all the professors by name, they all know you by name. We're not just a number, like we actually have a face to the name, which is honestly pretty good. I like it. I'm known, everybody else is known in the school. It makes it feel more comfortable to be here, especially being so far away from home.
Fall is a busy season for local businesses. New projects, fresh goals, and big ideas. At TrueStar, we understand what it takes to grow something real because we're right here with you. I'm Ryan Tamevi with TrueStar. Whether you're expanding your shop, upgrading equipment, or planning ahead, we're here to help you move forward with a business loan that fits. TrueStar Federal Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA. Follow us on social media.
Welcome back to the Rainy River, Minnesota North College Press Box on Lakes Country, 104.1 KSCM. Yours truly, Augie Schmidt here, live from the Rainy River Press Box. And we are getting ready for a fourth set incoming. Broncos hosting Warroad of, Warriors of Warroad. I almost said Warroad of Warriors. Sorry. It's been a long night here as we are entering the fourth set. Broncos were thinking they were going to have an easy time of closing it out in 3, but Warroad has been slowly but surely regaining their balance as Broncos will serve first in this fourth set of volleyball. And Broncos looking to try and repeat the success from their first 2 and avoid a reverse sweep. This is their last home game here in Falls High School before they finish out the season on the road. And so they want to end it on a high note and a win against Warroad, their neighbor that they don't really see if at all. I was going to say too often, but it almost seems like almost not at all. During the volleyball season, they would love to get a win over this down the road, I don't want to say rivals, but kind of a rival. And Grasshorn with a kill, but that is still received. Warroad able to pass it over the net. Now Swanson's going to set it up. This is Basaraba with an own attempt. Great dive by Larson to keep it in play. Now it's Reagan Haley with an own attempt. Broncos keep the play going. Dig by Bowler. And that's going to be an attempt and a kill for the Broncos as they take an early 1-0 lead there in set number 1. That is, of course, number 4, Peyton Grasshorn. She has been big for this Broncos offensive unit. She is one of the leading attackers for the Broncos. Charlie Swanson to serve once more. Broncos up 1-0. That goes out of bounds, though. And so it's been some service issues that have really kept Warroad in this game a whole bunch. So Broncos now prepared to try and take it right back. Swanson sets it up. That's Grasshorn. Blocked, though, by Warroad. Now Swanson sets it up. That's Skrine with their own attempt. Blocked again by Warroad. Now it's the Warriors with their own attempt. That is number 8, Haley Selvog, getting a kill and the point for Warroad. That's her 3rd of the evening. I counted 3 at least. So now it is a 2-1 game here as Coach Draper of the Warriors is having a word with one of our judges for today. And also, make sure you tune in on Thursday later this week because, of course, we do have our Borderland battle between the Broncos and the Vikings of Little Fork Big Falls coming up on that Thursday evening at Little Fork Big Falls High School. And so Broncos looking to try and come back after last year where Little Fork ended up getting a 5-set win at Little Fork. And then that was followed by a sweep at the Falls. And so Broncos, they want to get redemption. But now they got to focus on this game as Warroad almost able to get a point. That was kept over the net by Kokesh. That's another attempt by Selvog. Excuse me. I don't know where I got the N from. Selvog gets the point. That's another one for Warroad, specifically for Selvog. So now it is 3-1 lead for Warroad. Swanson sets it up. That's Chesney Skrine with an attempt. Chesney Skrine, cross body, cross court. That is a point for the Broncos. 3-2 now on the PCA scoreboard. Broncos down by 1. Chesney Skrine, she has now reached 7 kills for International Falls. So 3-2. Broncos down after taking the first point of the game and taking it a lead. Now it's Vivian sending it over. Kokesh accidentally sends it backwards. Bullock sends it back in. Grasshorn sends it over. Now that's Galzin over to Reagan. Haley, but no good. Grasshorn sends it over. And Grasshorn, after setting it behind her over the net, gets the point for the Broncos, tying it 3-all on the PCA scoreboard. Now it's going to be Basaraba serving for the Broncos. 3-3. Received by Anthony. Galzin sets it up. This goes behind her. That goes to Reagan Haley. Warroad able to keep it high and over the net. Swanson sets it up. That's Kokish with her own attempt. Sends it towards the back row. Received by Larson. Galzin sets it up. This is going to be Haley again. Over the blockers, but kept in play. And then sent right back by Haley. Now it's Chesley Scrine with her own attempt. Chesley Scrine, sidearm, gets the point for the Broncos. Chesley Scrine has been a very, very important player to this Broncos offensive effort. Looking to keep the ball rolling as well. As Warroad. Vivian sends it over. Bassaraba keeps it in play. Swanson over to Kokesh towards the back row. Larson gets the receive. Galzin over to Selvog. No good. Swanson receives. Chesley Scrine again, but no good. That was a great dive, great effort by Larson. Now it's Kokesh with another attempt. Received by Haley. Scrine sends it right back. Larson with the receive. Galzin over to Haley. She's going to have to just pass it over. Now it's Swanson over to Scrine. To Grasshorn, blocked. Grasshorn sends it right back. Now it's Galzin. She sets it up. This is going to be a Selvog sending it over the back line. Broncos take a 2-point lead, 5-3. Believe it or not, these two teams have only given up one net foul. Something that I've noticed with the Broncos is they kind of struggle with that. They fall into the foul trouble sometimes for some of the games, and that has really hurt them. So great discipline by the Broncos today. That's Vivian with an attempt. Vivian with the kill. Warroad takes it right back. Thanks to Vivian Morkauka. I'm sorry. I really apologize. I might not try and attempt to pronounce the last name just because I keep struggling with it. So I am very sorry for that. That's an issue with me. So 5-4, Warroad down. Serve by Reagan Haley. Hits the net. That's a Bronco point. 6-4 now on the PCA scoreboard. Quick substitution on both sides. Kay McCona comes into the game for Mara Buller, as well as number 26, Eliana Jacobson coming into the game for number 6, Reagan Haley. And that's going to be a service ace for the Broncos, number 21, Chesley Scrine. That is her second ace of the game. Broncos, their offense has been absolute peak right now. As Scrine gets another serve, that goes out of bounds though. Now it's 7-5, Warroad back in it. 2-point lead for the Broncos. Do not want to give this up, though. Selvog is going to serve for Warroad. And actually, it's going to be number 24 being subbed into the game. This is Ada Anderson, getting her first service of the game. So let's see what Anderson brings to the table as it's received by Bassaraba. Kokesh running start, but off the net and off the blockers. That's a point for Warroad. So, hey, for her first serve, not too bad of a start there. Getting a point for her team. 7-6. Broncos up by 1. Anderson's serve. This goes over the net to Bassaraba, who keeps it in play. Grasshorn over to Cronin. Cronin's going to have to pass it over. Now, Warroad, they set it up. Galzin over to Olofsson, kept in play by Grasshorn. Kokesh sends it over. Now Galzin sets it up for Larson, who gets the hit. Blocked, but no good. Larson with the point to tie it up for Warroad. She is at 9 kills today. 7 all on the PCA scoreboard. Serving still is Anderson for Warroad. Anderson with the serve. Received by Kokesh. Bowler sets it up. That's going to be Cronin who sends it over. Now it's going to be Warroad with an attempt. Galzin over to Vivian, but it looked like it might have hit the side of her hand. She's saying, my bad, you guys, as that hits the net, and that's going to be a point for the Broncos. 8-7 on the PCA scoreboard. Serving is Grasshorn. Also subbing into the game and then switching is Anthony, the libero for Warroad. Grasshorn with the serve, received by Larson. Galzin keeps it up in the air. Olofsson sends it over, but that goes out of bounds. Point for the Broncos. 9-7 on the PCA scoreboard. Grasshorn goes back again to serve. Grasshorn for the Broncos. That's received by number 26, Jacobson. Galzin sets it up. That's Larson with a running start, but iffy 50-50 play there, but that will be a point for Warroad, as that is a net violation. The first one for the Broncos. The wrong time to be giving up those fouls. Substitution, Brecky comes into the game, subbing in for Vivian Markauka. Brecky to serve for the Warriors. Down by 1, 9-8 on the PCA scoreboard. Brecky, shorter serve. Bola keeps it up, and Grasshorn sets it up. That's Kokesh with the kill. Far back corner, Neva Kokesh putting some authority behind that hit. It's now a 2-point lead for the Broncos, 10-8 on the PCA scoreboard. Neva Kokesh having herself a night to remember. Broncos needing to get this 4th set win. Do not want to force the 5th set. That gives Warroad hope. For Warroad, of course, you want to set up the 5th set because it gives you hope. Grasshorn sets it up. This is going to be Cami Cronin. Cami Cronin, no good. Somehow kept it in play. Oh, my goodness. Unity Gals able to get the hit over after a great dive by Warroad as Brecky keeps it in play. Olofsson sends it over. Broncos with an attempt. Mara Buller over to Grasshorn. What a play by Warroad to keep the play going. Now they're going to set it up. That's Larson with a hit. Dig by Grasshorn. Cronin over to Kokesh. Able to pass it over. Now it's Warroad with an attempt. Galzen, she's going to set it up. That goes a little too far over. Off hit by Rasmussen. Too far away from the net. That's a point for Warroad. It is now a 10-9 game on the PCA scoreboard. What a play. My goodness. I might have to stand up soon. It's number 3, Atlee Larson, serving for Warroad. She goes for a running start, jumping serve, and that's an ace for the Warriors. Atlee Larson gets her 3rd ace. She is one of the leading scorers for this Warroad team. In fact, she is the leading scorer. Atlee Larson with another serve. Received by Basaraba. Kokesh over to Grasshorn. Kept in play. Now it's Warroad setting it up. That's going to be Reagan Haley. Cronin sets it up for Basaraba. Kept in play by Buller, but just out of reach of Cronin. That's a point for Warroad. They are now jumping up to the lead 11-10 on the PCA scoreboard. Larson to serve. Up by 1 is Warroad, 11-10 on the PCA scoreboard. Grasshorn sets it behind her to Basaraba. Basaraba able to send it. Somehow kept in play by Larson. No! What an effort by Warroad. And that leads to a Warroad point. Are you kidding me, ladies and gentlemen? What? My goodness, it was an off hit by the libero, Anthony, that sent it backwards. Running, though, sprinting, Larson was able to get a hit that was just right, sending it backwards just enough for her teammate Galzen to send it over. And Rasmussen able to send it over after the serve. Warroad up by 2. Kokesh receives. Grasshorn sets it up. Rasmussen kept in the air by Olofsson. Now they're going to set it up. That is number 6. Reagan Haley trying to go for the attempt. That's off the net, and that's a point for the Broncos, 12-11. I gotta chill. I gotta bring it down a little. I'm getting too excited. I'm almost hoping for that 5th set. This is too fun for me. Eliana Koenig gets a serve, and that's going to be an attempt by Reagan Haley to send it over. And that goes right back to Warroad after the dig by the Broncos. Rasmussen sends it over. Reagan Haley kept up in the air by Olofsson. Somehow going, and they're going to say that is point for the Broncos because that did hit the ceiling and wasn't touched by a Bronco as it went over. So that's why it is a point for the Broncos. So Broncos, they kind of lucked out there getting the tie. So it's 12-all. Brecky sets it up. Galzen sends it over. Kept up in the air by Eliana Koenig. Grasshorn to Basaraba. Kept on the Warroad side of the net. Broncos are back up in the lead. It is 13-12 on the PCA scoreboard. My gosh. If you are not listening or watching this right now, then you are missing out, ladies and gentlemen. Serve by Koenig. Brecky sets it up. That's hit by Basaraba. That's a point for the Broncos. 14-12. Lauren Basaraba. What a performance by the senior. Her last time here on the volleyball court for Falls High School, as this is her senior season. Brecky sets it up. That's running start by Haley. She gets the point, bouncing off the blockers. Reagan Haley gets her 2nd kill of the night. She has 2 aces and 2 kills. Back to serve is the libero, number 13, Olivia Anthony for Warroad. 14-13, down by 1 on the PCA scoreboard. Anthony serves it. That's received by Basaraba. Grasshorn sets it up. Chesney Scrine comes up, blocked by the Warriors, but Eliana Koenig is there to keep it in play. Basaraba able to pass it over after a miscommunication, set backwards. Now it's going to be a block by the Broncos. The attempt by Haley, no good. Denied, rejected. Sayonara. That's 15-13 after the Broncos block leads to a point on the PCA scoreboard. Charlie Swanson's going to go back to serve for International Falls. Warroad still keeping themselves in this game. They smelled the blood. They're trying to swim after it, but we're going to see, are they sharks or are they the minnows? Swanson up in the air to Grasshorn. Off hit, blocked, and they're going to say that is 4 hits. So Broncos unlucky there on the rally. It's 15-14. Warroad gets it right back. Another 1-point lead for International Falls here in set number 4. Broncos, they got off to a quick 2-0 start in sets. But now Warroad's trying to start a 5-set reverse sweep, and that's going to be an ace for Warroad. Getting the ace was number 14, Unity Galzin. She gets her first ace. That went off the chest of Koenig. Little too off on the hit. Koenig gets to receive it. Chesney Scrine sends it over. Received by Larson. Bouncing off. And that's going to be a point for the Broncos. Warroad unable to react in time to the ball bouncing off of the ceiling. And so that led to the Broncos point and the Broncos lead 16-15 on the PCA scoreboard. Chesney Scrine, as I said, was the one on the hit. Serve by Basaraba. Almost kept in play, but no good. That's the Broncos' ace for number 9, the senior, Lauren Basaraba. She gets her 6th ace of the night. So 17-15, Basaraba trying to start the rally here for the Broncos. That's kept up in the air there by Larson. Galzin over to Haley. No good. Received by Koenig. Swanson sets it up. That's Chesney Scrine with a running start. Palm fist of doom. No doom to be found. Galzin able to get the set over the net. That's a point off of the pass by number 14, Unity Galzin. 17-16 on the PCA scoreboard. Serving is Reagan Haley for Warroad. Haley with the serve, received by Basaraba, kept up in the air by Swanson. Kokesh with the attempt, hit up in the air by Larson, and after it juggled in the ceiling, that led to a Broncos point. Warroad unable to get there in time, so now it's 18-16 for the Broncos leading in this one. Neva Kokesh, she has double digits in kills. Chesney Scrine with the serve for the Broncos. Galzin sets it up. This is Larson with the attempt, kept up in the air by Swanson. Now it's number 4, Grasshorn with an attempt, kept up in the air and kept in the game. Warroad, a bump by Anthony, but a great dig by Larson, unable to keep it in play. Broncos get the point. And so slow to get up is Larson. I think she might have hit the hardwood a little too hard there. And so not sure if it's injury or frustration that kept her slow from getting up. Broncos up by 3 here. And I think she might have hit her elbow. And she's going to try and tough it out. We may see Coach Draper sub her out. Atlee Larson has been a huge part of this Warroad team. She has been the backbone of their offensive attack as Chesney Scrine serves it for the Broncos up by 3, 19-16. And hit attempted by Haley Selvog, ends up hitting the side of her hand and bounces off the net. And I think that potential almost near injury by Atlee Larson almost discombobulated the team a little as Galzin sets it up. That is Vivian with the point for Warroad. Now they are climbing back in this one, so hush my doubt, my apologies. I got to stop saying anything too soon like that. Selvog subbed out. It's going to be Anderson coming back in. She is going to be the one to serve, trying to start up a huge rally. They are down by 3. Broncos up 20-17 on the PCA scoreboard. Anderson with the serve, received by Kokesh. Swanson sets it up, back to Kokesh. She passes it over. Now it's Larson up in the air. Galzin sets it up behind her to Vivian. Vivian off the net, though. Bronco point, 21-17. Here in set number 4, Broncos just need to get 4 more points, and they can take the match. A big comeback is needed by Warroad in order to come back in this one and set up the 5th set. Grasshorn getting ready to serve for the Broncos. Peyton Grasshorn. Received by Jacobson. Koenig up in the air to Basaraba. Rasmussen with an attempt. Dig by Jacobson. Now it's Galzin. Over to Larson. Larson off the blockers on the hardwood. Larson gets the point for Warroad. It is 21-18 now. 3-point lead for the Broncos. And Brecky's going to be brought into the game to try and help her team climb back into this one. Catherine Brecky wearing number 1 for Warroad. 21-18, Broncos leading. Grasshorn sets it up. Rasmussen sends it over. That's Jacobson. Over to Brecky. Sets it up. This is Larson with an attempt. In play by Grasshorn. Koenig set. And they're going to say that's a foul against Neva Kokesh. So now, gave it to the wrong team on the scoreboard. It is 21-19 now on the PCA scoreboard. Warroad trying to climb back. Brecky with the serve, trying to lead the charge for her team. Grasshorn sets it up. That's Kokesh, or excuse me, that is Koenig. Blocked by Warroad, unable to keep it up in the air and in play. That's another point. It is now 21-20. Warroad starting the comeback in set number 4. Trying to continue their comeback, in fact. Brecky to serve. Broncos trying to recover. Rasmussen. Grasshorn keeps it in play, and that is Basaraba sending it over. Now it's Galzin setting it up. That's Olafsson getting the point. Libby Olafsson with the kill to make it now a tied game. 21-all. And the Broncos are going to call a timeout now. Coach Hall trying to get her team locked in once again. This is at one point a 5-point game in favor of the Broncos. Warroad climbing back into this one. They were down. They want to set up that 5th set. This is a thriller already, ladies and gentlemen. I'm excited, so we're going to be back so I can get a drink of water. You're listening and watching on Lakes Country 104.1 as well as on yourliveevent.com.
Ready to ride into fall? Hi, this is Tony Skifstrom at Border Bank. Whether it's an ATV for backwoods thrills or a truck built for bonfire season, Border Bank makes it easy to gear up with a consumer loan that fits your lifestyle. Fast decisions, competitive rates, hometown service that goes the extra mile. So don't just rake leaves, run them over. Apply today at borderbank.com or come visit with me at the bank. Border Bank, customer first, community focused. Member FDIC.
4th set. Warroad trying to steal it from the Broncos. Thank you for tuning in on Lakes Country 104 as well as on yourliveevent.com. And that's another point. Warroad gets the lead. It is now 22-21. Broncos fading here in set number 4. Warroad trying to force the 5th set overtime. Brecky to serve for the Warriors. That's received by Basaraba. Grasshorn sets it up. Rasmussen with an attempt. And that's a great dive by Jacobson. Kept in play, kept up in the air by Cronin. And now Basaraba sends it over. Galzin sets it up. This is Larson with an attempt. Larson over the back line. That is a Broncos point. Tied once again. 22-all on the PCA scoreboard. Broncos. Now that's a timeout called. This time, it's Warroad with the timeout. They use their first one of 2 in this set number 4. Again, another timeout brought to you by Service Master of International Falls. For a home professionally cleaned all year round, call Service Master at 218-283-4475. Todd and Grush are going to take great care of you.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 4th set, tied game, 22-all. Neva Kokesh serves for the Broncos. Brecky sets it up. That's Larson with a hit. Larson almost with a kill. Broncos can't get it back over. Now it is Warroad up 23-22 on the PCA scoreboard. Broncos so close to giving up their lead in this 4th set. They do not want to let it go to 5. Warroad putting it in the hands of Larson. She has been their ace in the hole. Cronin blocked out of bounds. Tied game again. 23 all. Now it's going to be Cami Cronin going back to serve. Oh, actually, it's going to be Mara Bowler going back to serve. And after that, we're going to get another timeout called. Another timeout brought to you by Service Master of International Falls for a home professionally cleaned all year round. Call Service Master at 218-283-4475. Todd and Gresh are going to take great care of you. All this is live from the Rainy River, Minnesota North College Press Box. Start your voyage at the Rainy River campus. Your future awaits you right here in your own backyard. Rainy River, Minnesota North College, 218-598-9300. And also make sure you tune in after the game for our post-game player awards, like our Enbridge Energy Player of the Game, as well as our Domino's Pizza Player of the Game. Enbridge Energy Play of the Game will go to the player who has the most energizing, energetic, and amazing play of this amazing four-set match, as we are tied 23 all on the PCA scoreboard. And of course, special shout out to our national anthem sponsor at the beginning of this game, which was local VFW Post 2948. Join us for burger night and karaoke. That's the end of our Service Master timeout. Broncos with the serve. It's on the shoulders of the sophomore libero, number 10, Mara Buller. Buller with the serve. That is received by the other libero, Anthony. That is Brecky over to Larson. Oh no, that was Haley, and that's a point. Tipped by the Broncos blockers. That is Reagan Haley getting the kill for Warroad and taking the lead. They are 1 point away from sending this one to set number 5. Serving is Anthony, the libero. Sends it to the back row. Bounced off the head of Neva Kokesh. And that's a point, and that's the set going to Warroad. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a 5-set match. Ladies and gentlemen, I am excited. So start your engines and get ready for this upcoming 5th set between the International Falls Broncos and the Warroad Warriors. What a game here tonight at Falls High School. My goodness, what a way to start off this week, this Monday night. Who cares about Monday Night Football? It's the Dolphins and the... I don't even remember. The Dolphins and the Jets playing. Who cares? This is where the action's really at. This is where the excitement's at. So stay tuned as we get ready for set number 5. Overtime, sudden death, whatever you want to call it. It is winner takes all in this 5th set. You're listening and watching on Lakes Country 104.1 KSDM, as well as on YourLiveEvent.com.
Hi, this is Rob from Falls Lumber Company. I'm new to the company, though not to the industry. If you're looking to remodel your kitchen or bathroom, stop in and see me in the Design Center. I can help you pick out the perfect cabinets or countertops from brands such as Crystal Cabinets, Cambria, Corian, and Silestone. If you're in need of flooring, we have options including luxury vinyl plank, hardwood, engineered hardwood, and tile. Stop into the Design Center to see me anytime. When you're looking to build or remodel, come to the experts at Falls Lumber Company, 201 4th Street in International Falls.
Employees at Packaging Corporation of America have been producing quality paper for over a century. We understand our responsibility to the community, and we're honored to support the many needs and events occurring in the borderland. From providing donations to local schools and events, to supporting organizations meeting physical needs in our community, Packaging Corporation of America does more than make paper. We make a difference.
The unique strengths of Rainy River lie in the fact that you're going to be supported by faculty and staff, and you're going to be supported by the community.
You know all the professors by name, they all know you by name. We're not just a number, like we actually have a face to the name, which is honestly pretty good. I like it. I'm known, everybody else is known in the school. It makes it feel more comfortable to be here, especially being so far away from home.
Fall is a busy season for local businesses. New projects, fresh goals, and big ideas. At TrueStar, we understand what it takes to grow something real, because we're right here with you. I'm Ryan Tamevi with TrueStar. Whether you're expanding your shop, upgrading equipment, or planning ahead, we're here to help you move forward with a business loan that fits. TrueStar Federal Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA. Follow us on social media.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the 5th set of this varsity volleyball action between the International Falls Broncos and the Warroad Warriors. Warroad on the brink of trying to make an upset reverse sweep against the home team Broncos. Broncos trying to hold on to the win in their terrible time to start sneezing in their final home game of the 2025-26 season. Charlie Swanson to start things off here, serving for the Broncos. Warroad's going to send it over. That's up in the air by Grasshorn. Warroad sends it right back. Bowler over to Swanson, sets it up. That's Basaraba over the back line. Point for Warroad. Warroad will get the first blood shedded against the Broncos. It's going to be Anderson going back to serve. 1-0 lead for the Warriors. And they need to take every advantage of the possessions they have. Grasshorn up in the air to Swanson. Sets it up. That's Chesney Scrine, blocked by Warroad. And that's going to be inbound. So Warroad's now up to a 2-0 lead here in set number 5. It is 1st to 15, by the way, for those of you who aren't aware of volleyball rules. So 1st to 15 takes the set and the match. Anderson with another serve. Received by Basaraba. Swanson up in the air. That's Scrine. Up in the air by Vivian. Galzin over to Selvog. Scrine able to pass it over. Now Galzin sets it up. This is going to be Haley. And Haley gets it on the line. That's a point for Warroad. Now it's 3-0. Broncos trail on the PCA scoreboard. Broncos needing to come back quickly. Anderson. Or excuse me, that's Unity Galzin serving for the Warriors. I feel bad I got it wrong the last couple of times. Chesney Scrine able to send it right back. Galzin sets it up. That's Vivian sending it across. Scrine up in the air to Swanson, who sets it over to Basaraba, who passes it over. Now they're going to set up. That is Haley over the line. That is his Kokesh to Swanson. Grasshorn off the blockers. Now they're going to get it up in the air. That's given to Vivian, who passes it over. Now Grasshorn over to Swanson to Scrine. Scrine's going to send it over to the Warroad side of the net. Now Galzin sets it up. That's Haley again. Blocked, kept up in the air, but they're going to say that's a point for the Broncos. They get on the scoreboard. It is 3-1. Warroad leads on the PCA scoreboard. Basaraba goes back to serve for International Falls, hoping to get this rally going. 3-1, Grasshorn off the net, or Basaraba, excuse me, off the net. It's 4-1 now. Broncos struggling early in this set number 5, and this is the worst time to be struggling early. Back to serve is number 6, Reagan Haley for Warroad. Sends it to the back row, Mara Bowler just in front of her. That's an ace. And not sure what's happening here with the Broncos, but they just can't get it figured out here in this 5th set. They are down now 5-1. Warroad already a third of the way is to taking the 15-point requirement, or 15-point victory. And that's Kokesh with the attempt. No good. Galzin sends it over. That's Mara Bowler. Swanson sets it up. Chesney Scrine able to get the pass over. And that's out of reach. Broncos get the point thanks to Chesney Scrine's hit over the net. So now Broncos get another opportunity of life. Chesney Scrine's going to go back to serve for International Falls. Substitutions made on both sides. Chesney Scrine sends it to the back row. That's received by Anthony. Anthony up in the air, off the roof. Galzin keeps it in play. Larson sends it over. Chesney Scrine a dig, and somehow Cronin's hit goes over the net, and Larson tried to get a hit over, but that goes off the net. Now it is 5-3 on the PCA scoreboard. So Chesney Scrine gets another serve over the net. Galzin over to number 8. That's Selvog, but they're going to say that's over the line, so that's a point for the Broncos. They are now climbing back quickly, 5-4. Chesney Scrine leading in services for the Broncos. Chesney Scrine sends it back. That is Anthony, 50-50. Warroad able to keep it up in the air, but no good. That's off the net. Broncos now tie it. It is 5-all. Warroad, after climbing up quickly, have now fallen quickly. Warroad tied with the Broncos of International Falls. Chesney Scrine to serve. She sends it to out of bounds, just too far And that's Warroad back in the lead by 1 point. Quick substitutions on both sides. It's going to be number 24. This is Anderson. It's the 14-24 that messed me up. Anderson subbed into the game. She is going to serve. She's going to try and lead her team to victory. Up by 1 right now and wanting to extend it and keep the Broncos at arm's length. Broncos trying to climb back and take the lead. That's off the net, though. So it's a tied game once again on the PCA scoreboard. 6-all on the scoreboard. Subbing into the game, number 18, Cameron Rasmussen, as well as number 8, Haley Selvog. Peyton Grasshorn back to serve for the Broncos. We are ready and steady. Let's set this off. Grasshorn with the serve. Galzin over to Larson. Larson off the net. That's a point for the Broncos. They take the lead. This is their first lead of the set. 7-6 now. 6-7 on the PCA scoreboard. Grasshorn with the serve. Galzin sets it up. This is Olofsson. Received by Bowler. Now it's Bowler with an attempt. She sets it over. Anthony over to Galzin, sets it behind her to Vivian. Vivian with a light touch over the net. Basaraba gets it up in the air. Grasshorn over to Cronin. Cronin over the back line. That's a point for Warroad. 7-all on the PCA scoreboard. Subbing into the game is number 1, Brecky. Brecky was a big part of that Warroad comeback in set number 4 to send it to this 5th set. She was the one serving. Grasshorn gets it up. Kokesh trying to punch it over, but ended up being a little too far from the ball, so it is now 8-7. Warroad leads on the PCA scoreboard. Brecky with the serve. Dig by Basaraba. That's an ace for Catherine Brecky. She gets her second of the night. It is now 9-7, and that's a timeout called by... Wait, was that a timeout? Yeah, that's a timeout called by Coach Hall of the Broncos. And that's another timeout brought to you by Service Master of International Falls for a home professionally cleaned all year round. Call Service Master at 218-283-4475. Todd and Gretchen are going to take great care of you. And this is our Service Master timeout. Broncos down 9-7. Warroad trying to force a 5-set reverse sweep against the Broncos. Broncos, they looked like they couldn't do anything wrong in those first 2 sets, but Warroad has quickly flipped it on their heads. And so, once again, this is the 5th set. This is basically overtime. Sudden death, first to 15. 9-7, served by Brecky. Leading the charge, that's out of bounds. Broncos get the point. Looks like the timeout came in handy as the Broncos are coming in fresh. It is 9-8. Broncos are still down by 1 point, though. They've only had 1 lead, and it was only a lead by 1. Kokesh to serve for the Broncos. Neva Kokesh sends it over. That's received by Anthony. Brecky sets it up behind it to Larson. Larson sends it across. Dive by Bowler. Kokesh able to send it over. Larson sends it back. Bowler with the receive. Grasshorn sets it up. That's Basarabas toward the back row. Up in the air by Jacobson. Now it's Galzin over to Larson. Bunny hop. Grasshorn up in the air. Cronin over to Rasmussen. Rasmussen across. Brecky up in the air. Now it's off the ceiling. Galzin recovers. Larson over the air. Grasshorn to Cronin over to Rasmussen. Rasmussen, great dig by Brecky. Galzin over to Olofsson off the back foot. Now it's Cronin setting it up. That is Basaraba off the blocker. Another dig by Brecky to keep it up in the air. Galzin sets it up. That is Olofsson. Dig by Cronin. Play is still going. Kokesh over to Basaraba. Basaraba sends it over. Kept up in the air by Anthony. Now it's Larson with an attempt. Blocked, and Larson gets the point and the kill for Warroad. Warroad back up to a 2-point lead, 10-8 on the PCA scoreboard. It will also be Atlee Larson to serve for Warroad. Broncos down by 2. Atlee Larson with the serve. That's off the net and an ace. That 1 millisecond of hesitation by the Broncos allowed for that ball to bounce off the net, over onto the Broncos side, and lead to the ace. Larson with another serve. Cronin to Kokesh, over to Grasmussen. Now it's Larson over to Gausen, and that's no good. That's a point for the Broncos. It is now 11-9. Broncos trail by 2 on the PCA scoreboard in set number 5. Broncos trying to get a comeback going here. Mara Bowler, the libero to serve. Bowler with the serve. That is received by Haley. They set it up. Haley sends it across. Bowler up in the air. That is Grasshorn able to send it over and sets it up for Rasmus Basaraba. My goodness. This late game is just making up my mind all confuzzled. That is Basaraba getting the kill for the Broncos. Mara Bowler to serve. 11-10. Broncos trying to get the tie and eventually get the lead. Warroad gets it up in the air. Brecky, that's over to Haley. Haley gets a hit over. Grasshorn keeps it up in the air. Skrine sets it up, and Bowler's going to pass it over. Now it's going to be Larson over to Gausen. Gausen sets it up. That's Olofsson getting it across. Kept in play by Grasshorn. That's Bowler over to Basaraba. Sends it across, but that's out of bounds. Warroad takes it back, 12-10. Warroad knocking on the door here. Back to serve is the libero, number 13, Olivia Anthony. Anthony sets up a serve, jumping serve. That is Kokesh with the receive. Grasshorn over to Skrine with the kill. No good. Kept in play, but hit out of bounds by Reagan Haley. Broncos get the point, 12-11. Broncos still down by 1, though, but they're going to bring in number 16, Charlie Swanson. She has 4 aces tonight. Charlie Swanson, one of the strongest servers on the Broncos squad. As they are down by 1, they need some magic from their senior. And they will get that magic! That's an ace by Charlie Swanson. She gets her 5th one of the night. She is just 1 behind her teammate, Lauren Basaraba. Or no, just 1 behind because I had Basaraba having 6. Charlie Swanson with the serve, tied 12 all. That's going to be off of Larson. Brecky sets it up. That's Haley with the hit. Kokesh over to Grasshorn. Basaraba with her own hit. That's kept in play by Larson. Brecky over to Reagan Haley. Haley sends it across. Kept in the air by Swanson. Kokesh over to Grasshorn who gets the hit. Warroad sets it up. Reagan Haley another attempt. Mara Bowler with the bump. Swanson to Basaraba, no good. Warroad keeps it in play. Chesley Skrine sets it up. That's Grasshorn. That's on the line. It's a point for the Broncos. Peyton Grasshorn threading the needle, and that's a timeout called by Warroad. Broncos 2 points away from taking this in 5 sets, and we have ourselves a 13-12 lead for the Broncos, and that is a timeout called, Service Master timeout called by Coach Draper of the Warroad Warriors. And the student section getting involved now. This crowd has got to be fired up because this has been an amazing set. The Broncos are so close to setting up the big comeback to try and come away with a win today. 13-12, Broncos Broncos up by 1. Warroad trying to climb back. They are so close to getting their 5-set reverse sweep. And either way, no matter how this ends, this is going to be probably one of the best matches to happen here outside of the Broncos' 5-set thriller against Mountain Iron Buell. Oh, no, excuse me, that was Musabi East. I got the wrong team. 13-12, Charlie Swanson, the senior, with the serve. She sends it to the back row, received by the libero, Anthony. Brecky sets it up. That's Reagan Haley with a hit. Blocked by the Broncos, kept in the air by Olofsson. Now Gausen over to Selvag. Swanson up in the air. Grasshorn sends it across. That's kept in the air by Brecky. Over to Gausen. Over to Reagan Haley. Kept in the air by Swanson. Chesley Shrine sets it. That's Grasshorn blocked. Kept in play by Kokesh. That's Swanson over to Basaraba. Now it's Grasshorn with another attempt. Kept in the air by Larson. Gausen over to Haley. Haley off the blockers. Bowler keeps it in the air. Swanson sets it up. That's Basaraba with another attempt. Blocked, and that is a point. Tied game again on the PCA scoreboard, 13 all. It is going to be first to 15. But it also has to be lead by 2. Volleyball rules. Serving is Galzin. Unity Galzin of the Warriors. Number 14 sends it across. That is received by Kokesh. Swanson to Grasshorn. Off the blockers. Kept in the air by number 6. Now it's Vivian with an attempt. Kokesh in the air. Swanson sends it across. Kept in the air. Larson with a play to keep it up. But Warroad able to get it across. Now it's Kokesh to Swanson. Sets it up. This is Skrine with an attempt. Cross court. Kept in play by Larson. Now it's Galzin. Over to Selvog. Skrine to Basaraba off the blockers. On the court. Ladies and gentlemen, Broncos are 1 point away. Match point right here in favor of the International Falls Broncos thanks to Lauren Basaraba. And that's a timeout called by the Warriors. Or excuse me, that was Peyton Grasshorn who got the kill. Why did I think it would? Oh my gosh, I'm getting too excited. I'm getting my players mixed up. I gotta chill. What a play though. My goodness, Broncos able to get themselves within a chance of a 5-set victory. And this timeout is brought to you by Service Master of International Falls. For home professionally cleaned all year round, call Service Master at 218-283-4475. Todd and Grush are going to take great care of you. Shout out to the Rainy River Voyagers volleyball team because this press box is brought to you by Rainy River, Minnesota North College. And start your voyage at the Rainy River campus. Your future awaits you right here in your own backyard. Rainy River, Minnesota North College, 218-598-9300. And so, you know, if the Voyagers volleyball team was to come to a volleyball game here at the Falls, this was probably the one to come to because what a game this has been. Shout out to the Warroad Warriors and anyone tuning in on yourliveevent.com. And shout out to our listeners on Lakes Country 104.1 KSDM. Lauren Basaraba to serve for the Broncos, up by 1. Match point right here in the hands of the Broncos. Galzin sets it up. This is Haley who gets it across. More bowler over to Skrine, across to Grasshorn. Grasshorn almost able to get the point. Grasshorn trying to get the deciding point. No good, up in the air. And that's a point for the Broncos. They win it in 5. Final score in set number 5, 15-13. What a thriller here in Falls High School. The final home game of the 25-26 season for your Broncos. And they ended on the highest of notes with a 5-set victory. My goodness, ladies and gentlemen. Whoa! Wow. I need to take a second for some breaths there. Wow. What a game. My goodness. Broncos come away with the win today. And once again, special shout out to the Warroad Warriors keeping in this game and really, really fighting to stay in it and get that 5 sets reverse sweep. My goodness, guys. You had to be here to see it. Broncos offense, such determination in this 5th set, down by 2 at one point, looking in trouble, and then they come away with the win. What a better way to do it than on the last home game of this season. Wow, what a game indeed. We're going to get ready for our post-game show, and I'm going to take a lot of breaths, take a lot of sips of water, because my voice really needs it right now. And, hey, you are listening and watching on Lakes Country 104.1 KSDM, as well as on yourliveevent.com.
Ready to ride into fall? Hi, this is Tony Skifstrom at Border Bank. Whether it's an ATV for backwoods thrills or a truck built for bonfire season, Border Bank makes it easy to gear up with a consumer loan that fits your lifestyle. Fast decisions, competitive rates, hometown service that goes the extra mile. So don't just rake leaves, run them over. Apply today at borderbank.com or come visit with me at the bank. Border Bank, customer first, community focused. Member FDIC.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
Hi, this is Rob from Falls Lumber Company. I'm new to the company, though not to the industry. If you're looking to remodel your kitchen or bathroom, stop in and see me in the Design Center. I can help you pick out the perfect cabinets or countertops from brands such as Crystal Cabinets, Cambria, Corian, and Silestone. If you're in need of flooring, we have options including luxury vinyl plank, hardwood, engineered hardwood, and tile. Stop into the Design Center to see me anytime. When you're looking to build or remodel, come to the experts at Falls Lumber Company, 201 4th Street in International Falls.
Employees at Packaging Corporation of America have been producing quality paper for over a century. We understand our responsibility to the community, and we're honored to support the many needs and events occurring in the borderland. From providing donations to local schools and events, to supporting organizations meeting physical needs in our community, Packaging Corporation of America does more than make paper. We make a difference.
The unique strengths of Rainy River lie in the fact that you're going to be supported by faculty and staff, and you're going to be supported by the community.
You know, all the professors by name, they all know you by name. We're not just a number, like we actually have a face to the name, which is honestly pretty good. I like it. I'm known, everybody else is known in the school. It makes it feel more comfortable to be here, especially being so far away from home.
Fall is a busy season for local businesses. New projects, fresh goals, and big ideas. At TrueStar, we understand what it takes to grow something real because we're right here with you. I'm Ryan Tamevi with TrueStar. Whether you're expanding your shop, upgrading equipment, or planning ahead, we're here to help you move forward with a business loan that fits. TrueStar Federal Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA. Follow us on social media.
Hey, stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. It's yours truly, August Schmidt here. I will be presenting you your Domino's Pizza and Enbridge Energy players of the game. But first, I just wanted to give a quick recap. So, final in 5. The Broncos come away with a huge win, 3-2 over the Warroad Warriors here in their last home game of the 25-26 season. And the score was 25-13 for the Broncos, 25-22 for the Broncos, 22-25 for the Warriors, 23-25 for the Warriors to force that fifth set. And then the Broncos had a huge rally here late in set number 5. Down by 2 at one point. They were able to climb up to the lead. And then eventually that led to the Broncos getting this fifth set win, 15-13, the final in the fifth. And what a game it was for these two teams. My goodness. Much credit to Warroad. Special shout out to number 3, Etley Larson of the Warriors, who was one of the leaders on the team. In fact, the leader in terms of kills with double digits. I counted 11 of them. And so she really had a big night trying to help lead her team, and they certainly fed her a whole bunch throughout the contest to try and set up the huge reverse sweep. And so much credit to her. Special shout out to the Warriors and to Coach Draper, a Rainy River alumni too, by the way. And so what a great game by these two teams. And so now it's time to reveal who is our Enbridge Energy player of the game, as well as a Domino's Pizza player of the game. I'm not going to lie, it's a really tough choice here. I have a lot of options, but I got to say, Enbridge Energy Player of the Game, the award goes to the person with the most energetic and energizing and amazing play of the game is definitely got to be Peyton Grasshorn. And what a play she had. She had the ace that led to the Broncos being up 14-13 on the scoreboard and put them just 1 point away from getting the win. And for player of the game, it's such a hard choice, but I think I got to go with Lauren Basaraba. Lauren Basaraba, what a game she had as well, both from the service line and from the front line, getting kills for her team. She ended up leading her team with 6 kills, I counted, 6 aces, and then she had she was one of the top attackers for her team with 6 kills as well. So nice 12 points for her squad, and only one, and her teammate that came closest to matching her was Neva Kokesh, who had 10 kills. So another special shout out. All kinds of great performances across the board. And even the other players on the team getting some time on the court to really help add to the win, such as Cameron Rasmussen, Morgan Moran DeMars, Hadley Whitbeck, and Eliana Koenig. So it certainly was a full squad effort here to come away with a win for the Broncos. And so I'm going to go see if I can get a interview with our post-game player recipients. And so we'll be back after another break. Hopefully it's not too long of a break. You're listening and watching on Lakes Country 104.1 KSDM, as well as on yourliveevent.com.
Ready to ride into fall? Hi, this is Tony Skifstrom at Border Bank. Whether it's an ATV for backwoods thrills or a truck built for bonfire season, Border Bank makes it easy to gear up with a consumer loan that fits your lifestyle. Fast decisions, competitive rates, hometown service that goes the extra mile. So don't just rake leaves, run them over. Apply today at borderbank.com or come visit with me at the bank. Border Bank, customer first, community focused. Member FDIC.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
Hi, this is Rob from Falls Lumber Company. I'm new to the company, though not to the industry. If you're looking to remodel your kitchen or bathroom, stop in and see me in the Design Center. I can help you pick out the perfect cabinets or countertops from brands such as Crystal Cabinets, Cambria, Corian, and Silestone. If you're in need of flooring, we have options including luxury vinyl plank, hardwood, engineered hardwood, and tile. Stop into the Design Center to see me anytime. When you're looking to build or remodel, come to the experts at Falls Lumber Company, 201 4th Street in International Falls.
Employees at Packaging Corporation of America have been producing quality paper for over a century. We understand our responsibility to the community, and we're honored to support the many needs and events occurring in the borderland. From providing donations to local schools and events, to supporting organizations meeting physical needs in our community, Packaging Corporation of America does more than make paper. We make a difference.
The unique strengths of Rainy River lie in the fact that you're going to be supported by faculty and staff, and you're going to be supported by the community.
You know, all the professors by name, they all know you by name. We're not just a number, like we actually have a face to the name, which is honestly pretty good. I like it. I'm known, everybody else is known in the school. It makes it feel more comfortable to be here, especially being so far away from home.
Fall is a busy season for local businesses. New projects, fresh goals, and big ideas. At TrueStar, we understand what it takes to grow something real because we're right here with you. I'm Ryan Tamevi with TrueStar. Whether you're expanding your shop, upgrading equipment, or planning ahead, we're here to help you move forward with a business loan that fits. TrueStar Federal Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA. Follow us on social media.
Ready to ride into fall? Hi, this is Tony Skifstrom at Border Bank. Whether it's an ATV for backwoods thrills or a truck built for bonfire season, Border Bank makes it easy to gear up with a consumer loan that fits your lifestyle. Fast decisions, competitive rates, hometown service that goes the extra mile. So don't just rake leaves, run them over. Apply today at borderbank.com or come visit with me at the bank. Border Bank, customer first, community focused. Member FDIC.
Welcome back to the Rainy River, Minnesota North College Press Box on Lakes Country 104.1 KSDM, as well as on yourliveevent.com. Joining me is Peyton Grasshorn and Mara Bowler, our libero for the Broncos. And what a game, you guys. How are you feeling once it got to that fifth set?
It was so tiring. I was hoping we were going to cut it off at 3 sets, but we just wanted to make work for ourselves, I guess. Yeah, we definitely all thought it was going to cut off at 3 sets, but we just put every little last bit of energy that we had out there.
In going into that fifth set, obviously high stakes, and it looked like they were starting to pull away a little. So what allowed you guys to be able to come back and have that last-minute surge to come away with the win in the fifth?
We just knew that we didn't win those sets for nothing, and we just wanted to finish it with a win. And we knew that we were kind of getting in their heads towards the end there. Mm-hmm. I definitely feel like we were holding ourselves to a higher standard, especially at the end there, because we know that we can make those game point serves, and we know that we can hit those spots. And I just feel like we definitely did that in the last couple of points.
It looked like number 3 on their team, at Lee Larson. She really had a good game, and she really started to wake up there for her team and help wake up the rest of her team. So how did you guys try and like adjust to those players on their team starting to have themselves a big game?
We just knew that we were capable of beating anyone that we put our minds to, so we just played smart. Yeah, I mean, I feel like every team has those players that definitely carry the team, especially in those points where everybody's getting down on themselves and they carry it up. And we just kind of adjust to it every game. I don't know.
So what was your initial reaction then in that 5th set? You guys were tied 13-all, and Charlie Swanson had that amazing serve that led to the ace that got you guys the lead. How were you feeling in that moment?
It just felt like we come a long way, and we just wanted to finish the match. I was definitely feeling very accomplished. I was feeling that sigh of relief, like, oh, finally we're not taking it into like a 6th set. I don't know. I feel like we would make that happen.
Try and find a way to convince the ref, like, oh, wait, one more set. All right, yeah. we can take best. What would that be? Like 4 out of 7, right?
Yep, exactly. And I heard that you said that you would love this game to be into 5 sets. So I heard that you are the one that manifested this on the radio.
Okay. Yes, I did manifest it, but that's because it made it even more exciting because, okay, you know, that's a bit of a harsh way to put it, saying it's my fault, but I will say it was really cool seeing you guys really dig in deep in that 5th set and come away with the win. And so even better, too, the fact that this was the last home game of this season. So do you think that also makes it a little bit more special of a win?
I do definitely think it makes it more special. Yeah, for sure.
And so now what happens next? Because you guys are playing against a certain down-the-road rival, Little Fork Big Falls, on Thursday.
Definitely a big rival for me because I used to go to that school, so definitely a big game for me. I think that no matter how good a team is in their sport, every time we play Little Fork, it always is like that intense vibes going on because Little Fork always brings it, and so do we, so it's always fun to watch.
Well, I want to wish you guys the very best of luck as the season goes on, especially good luck on Thursday. I'm very excited for that one, especially after last year's couple of games between you two. And so I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And Peyton Grassman, I'd like to present to you with our Domino's Pizza Player of the Game Award, a free pizza from Domino's. So dinner is on you tonight. So... And so, Mara, I forgot to grab the shirts from my car, but I got to make sure I drop one off for you as well as one for Charlie Swanson because I think she also deserves one for that ace in the 5th set. And also I got to give one to... Honestly, I got to start giving these things away like candy on Halloween, speaking of October coming up. And and so I think, honestly, if I had actually remembered the T-shirts, I'd give each of you guys one because that was such an energizing match. That was so amazing. So once again, congratulations on the win. Best luck in the season. And any fun shout-outs you want to give out before we wrap this up?
Neva brought her game tonight. She had a lot of kills. Chesney had a lot of sets. Chesney and Cammie always came through there. Chesney had a lot of set assists tonight, so...
Absolutely. Well, again, thank you guys for your time. You're free to go and enjoy your free pizza from Domino's. And this has been our live broadcast of Broncos Varsity Volleyball on Lakes Country 104.1 KSDM, as well as on YourLiveEvent.com. This is Augie Schmidt live from the Rainy River, Minnesota North College Press Box. We're going to be back in action. It's going to be Broncos versus Vikings, the Borderland Battle on Lakes Country 104.1 KSDM this upcoming Thursday. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Augie Schmidt signing out. Have yourselves a wonderful and blessed evening. Good night.